Fair weather friends that dance, sunshine around the bend. Let's fly them clear skies, we're all gonna find a peace of mind. All in due time, we're all gonna find that peace of mind. Star shooting out in the night, then it's gone. You're holding on tightly, easy come, easy go. Like the warm summer air sends the melts waving long when it's snow. Let's fly them clear skies, we're all gonna find a peace of mind. All in due time, we're all gonna find a peace of mind. Let's fly them clear skies, we're all gonna find a peace of mind. All in due time, we're all gonna find a peace of mind.
Welcome back to Live on Patrol. All is well here in Ramsey County, Minnesota. If you're a new viewer, thanks for joining us. My name is Bob Fletcher, and I have the honor of being your sheriff here in Ramsey County. If you're a resident, if you visit us, I consider me still your sheriff, and glad you could join us. This is an educational program to help people get to know what police officers encounter in the course of their duties, and also to let you know that police officers are human. You get a chance to see how they handle calls. It's been an unbelievable week, nationwide actually, but certainly metro-wide here, for carjackings.
Putting it mildly.
Yeah, it's Pat's going to give you a little summary. With me is longtime veteran police officer Pat Scott. Worked for St. Paul for over 30 years, and right now he's working as an analyst for the sheriff's office. But nobody keeps better track of what's going on. We have an outstanding group of analysts, actually. Joe Miller, Kelly, Heather, Francois, just a group of people that, you know, Sanjay, don't forget him, and led by Rich Altieri. They just really keep track of crime and help us apprehend people that are wanted, but also be in the right area to stop crime in the future, which is part of apprehension, is anticipating and knowing where they're going to be. We had, you know, Pat's going to go over, we had an early morning attempted carjacking out in Highland Park on St. Paul Avenue. Pat and I have actually listened to the audio from the Ring doorbell of the woman being robbed at gunpoint.
Disturbing, to say the least.
It's one of the most disturbing things I've seen in a long time, or heard in a long time. You can't actually see the robbery, but but that's not the only one. There's just been a number. There was a couple other carjackings out in the Highland Park, McAllister, Groveland area yesterday. So we had one in West St. Paul today, Pat. I know you get all the St. Paul ones. There's one in West St. Paul along the border there.
Yeah, we've got that one top on our sheet here.
Oh, you got a double sheet tonight. Pat normally tapes his sheet, you know, half of 11 by 17 to the dish, but this is a full 11 by 17 you got there today, huh, Pat?
Yeah, we're gonna be busy tonight.
So go ahead and give us an update. Clear right.
Well, you know what? Since we were last on, there's no doubt the most disturbing thing that happened in the area was the murder on Jesse Street of the pregnant woman and her 2 children by a very evil man who had come into their lives. And our prayers are with her family, absolutely. And absolutely, we also have to give credit to the homicide investigators in St. Paul Police Department who had the man in custody within 24 hours.
Yep. Great work.
It was absolutely horrible. Well, last night...
Before you leave that, I just want
Yeah.
to say that it dramatizes how fast a domestic situation can go from a woman saying she's okay.
Yeah.
You know, when the officer checked, she said, "No, I'm fine. Tell him I don't need anything." When her relative, but how fast it can go from okay to a triple murder, and
Within a half hour to 45 minutes.
right. This is why things can change so rapidly out on the street for the officers as well. You know, they might be at a domestic one time, and it might be, you know, people might calm their jets, cool their jets, and they might come back a little bit later and gunfire. So anyhow, go ahead. I didn't interrupt you.
But to all of Miss Wallace's family, you're in our prayers, and hope you can get out the other end of this somewhat emotionally intact. I know it's going to be difficult, but our prayers are with you. I'm gonna start off with last night here at about 10:15 in the 1500 block of Portland. Two juvenile black males attempted to do a armed robbery of a woman as she was getting out of her car. And it's unclear what made them stop, but they took off running into the alley behind that address and got away. Well, about 30 minutes later, at the 1900 block of Eigelhart, a black male and a black female, armed with handguns, got out of a white SUV and carjacked the victim of a 2017 black Hyundai Tucson. So keep an eye out for this one. The plate on it is 522 VPY. V is in Victor, P is in Paul, Y is in Yankee. 522 VPY. So we are looking for that vehicle for sure.
By the way, if you're wondering, we're eastbound on Maryland, right here at Prosperity. Eastbound Maryland at Prosperity.
Just before 1 in the morning last night, in the 1600 block of Boland in Highland Park.
Yep.
They tried to steal a Toyota Prius that was parked in the driveway. It's unclear whether that vehicle was running or not, but they did attempt to take it.
We're gonna spend a little time in Highland Park tonight too, just because there's a past pattern of these guys dipping across the river after they steal these cars. In fact, last week we had one that we were following that, if you remember, that St. Paul chose not to pursue into Minneapolis, and we lost it over there.
Yes, we did. And then now this morning, there was quite a little spree that occurred. The first one started off on St. Paul Avenue that Bob was talking about with the very disturbing Ring video. And it was 2 females left their home and were confronted by 4 young black men, and 2 of whom had handguns, and were screaming at them to get their property and were attempting to take their cars. Well, a male friend came out the door of their home and started shouting at the suspects, which caused them to start running. And as they ran away, they turned and fired a gunshot at the victims. And a shell casing was actually recovered at the scene. You can hear the gunshot on the Ring video. Very, very disturbing. I'm going to touch on some others throughout the evening that occurred this week. But, it's not your fault if you get carjacked. It's not your fault if you get your car stolen. But keep your wits about you. Be alert. Don't be on your cell phone when you're sitting in your car while it's running or parked. Be alert. Be aware of your surroundings. And we would urge you not to leave your car running. It's tough to accept when the weather's cold. You want to get into a warm car, but it's an invitation to car thieves.
Just gonna sit here for a minute. I got one or two other ones.
516 on channel 2.
I know Pat's on top of them, but just that I don't think they were mentioned.
Oh,
yet.
I didn't mention the Audi, did I?
Yeah, no, throw the Audi in there.
All right. This was this afternoon in West St. Paul, but this vehicle ended up being seen in St. Paul later in the afternoon.
Right where we're at.
Yep. It's a black 2011 Audi Q5. Now, an Audi Q5 is one of the larger of the Audi SUVs. The plate on it is 804 UHN, Uniform Hotel November. There's a black SUV with no lights on.
Brother 270, have a good one.
Now, the suspects in this did show a gun, did threaten with a gun.
Is it still up
Clear
there?
right. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. I barely see it.
Everyone have a good one.
It just crossed Ivy.
No.
And they were driven to the robbery scene in a gold Volkswagen Tiguan.
Tiguan, yeah, that's
It's a pretty distinctive looking SUV. It's a larger Volkswagen SUV, the predecessor to the Atlas, I believe. Yep, it's still there with no lights on.
Yep.
2007.
Well, there's Under Sheriff Mike Martin is out on the street.
Can you have a Maplewood supervisor send me a phone number to call him, please?
Brake lights.
4334.
Oh,
Go ahead. You can call
It's running dark.
651-755.
it's a long way to run dark intentional, but
Yeah.
so we're northbound on White Bear coming up on
2007,
Larpenteur.
November.
Larpenteur, as you recall, is the city border.
I think this is going to be a Nissan. 926 X-Ray Bravo Kilo.
We'll provide some well, I have to wait a little bit here.
Copy, thanks.
You're welcome, 2146.
I'm comfortable with this one, by the way.
You are or no?
I am.
Wait till we get a little better spot.
21, that case number is going to be
Turn in front of it.
04970.
Here. Can do it here in the turn lane. It might be that's not going to work so good, is it?
2146.
We're going to do some advising and counseling here. On the count of clear right. Looks like they don't really believe it's them. This is a Rogue, huh?
Yeah. We're familiar with Nissan Rogues. Will you? Hi. You've been rolling without your headlights for about a mile.
It's my sister's
2260.
car, so I wasn't sure.
Okay. All right. Take care now.
We're out on St. Paul.
A pleasant
Locked
young
me
lady.
up there so I can lock back on and then got locked up. in my
And
car.
appreciative.
Appreciate you. The call.
Brindle was
Copy,
just on.
2147.
I didn't catch him, but
Well, should we do our catching up at our favorite speedway? Or did I get us caught up with that?
2021.
oh, I
That
think you're-
Audi.
No, I think you're pretty good there. I just want to get the Audi, and then there was
2147.
you got the Antiqua that was in there too.
Yep. Now, there was also on the east side in that little spree this morning, there was a Buick Regal taken, but St. Paul just recovered it about an hour ago.
1960 Suburban at Sonic on a 911. Appeared to be a juvenile caller requesting officers meet at Sonic and then disconnected. Tried multiple callbacks. It sounded like they might have been in the vehicle. And they were on Suburban at the time of the original call.
I think we should drive over there in the area where those 3 carjackings were yesterday. Over in Highland on Portland, Eichelhart, St. Paul Avenue.
I like that idea.
Just to give people a frame of reference. Let the people in Highland Park know that we're out there as well. Might clean my side of the windshield on the outside here a little bit. I got the oil change today, but I didn't get a chance to get the car washed.
Well, my window looks pretty good here. I think the
Too much
The
going
camera
on.
view is good. Yeah, there has been so much going on.
No, the camera view is good. Actually, my son cleaned all the inside windows for us today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he wanted to go out there. He wasn't feeling very good. He's been struggling with a bad cold. He got tired. I think he got tired of being in the house sleeping. Said I'll go out there and clean your car.
report with Central and Transit.
So thank you, Bobby, for doing that.
213K4. 4.
So I'm really my key thing is finding that 804.
Absolutely.
You pulled me up a picture of what that looks like.
I will.
It's,
I'm going to do a quick, we can't do this with everybody. Please understand that because we get hundreds of these a night. But I am going to say happy 70th birthday to Sandra Madison. And your son Matt wanted us to relay that to you. She's a regular watcher of us. So happy birthday, Sandra. All right, let's get a...
Did you only bring one Mountain Dew today?
I brought what's a little bit of what was left from last week's Mountain Dew.
One way winner will be clear. Other squads will fill me out.
I don't always get a nap in,
This might be a good drive-by for that a block
Yeah,
over.
no, I was planning there. I don't always get a nap in, I'm not even sure it's good to take a nap. Sometimes after a 90-minute nap, you feel worse than you did before you went to sleep.
I took a very long nap before, but I just it wasn't a very satisfying.
182.
Go ahead.
Checking UNA3 are still code 4 in your current.
I can never adequately thank all of you for your condolences on my mom's passing, but just so you know, I am a heartfelt appreciation. You never know until someone passes how much you're going to appreciate people caring. So,
Right.
thank you, everyone, for that. And, thanks for reading my letter that I had sent my mom.
4489.
She forgot about, I didn't forget about the letter, but I forgot what I had written. Until I was over there after her burial and we looked at it when she was 80. But I had thanked her for all the Twinkies when I was 5 years old. So those of you that should think I shouldn't eat that many Twinkies, you can blame my mom. I did notice back then though, it was cherry Kool-Aid instead of Mountain Dew, which caused me to research when I started drinking Mountain Dew. And apparently the Pepsi company bought Mountain Dew, which had been around for a while but not very prevalent, in the late 60s, like 68 or so. So that's when Mountain Dew really took off. So,
I'm going to put this on mute for 1 second here.
yep. So we're going to try to minimize as little as we can any discussion on mute. But you remember before we figured out where the mute button was on this camera, we used to get out of the car and talk behind the car.
So I'm hoping this is a little better than us getting out of the car. But
Yeah,
we
maybe
will
not.
try and keep it to a bare
Maybe,
minimum.
maybe not.
So the next chance you get to pull over, I will. I'll show you a picture of an Audi Q5.
Squad 174, checking status.
Okay, well, you know, you're going to be our eyes anyhow. Because you know I'm not very good at telling cars apart. I submit to that. Good at crooks and names, but cars.
Response 21.
You know, and I got to give credit where credit was due. That the intelligence gathering and
174 on channel 1,
incident
checking
gathering,
status.
I've got to give credit to the all the other people you mentioned, Joe and Francois and Sanjay and Rich.
Squad 174 on channel 1.
I maybe do okay at sharing that information, but there is
Code 4
nobody
Jefferson near Osceola.
nobody
That's
better at
2154.
collecting it than that crew.
Well, it's a team effort.
I'm going to
It's
be
a
doing
team
traffic
effort.
down over in Central here for a little bit, so I'll change over to channel 2.
Team effort.
Copy that.
213.
For those of you that might have seen a short video clip yesterday, and I happened to be down at the office last
in
night
relation to 525's call.
doing a few administrative items when a stolen was
532.
fled from out of
532.
White Bear Lake.
This is going to be a separate.
So on my way home, I decided to help out find it. It was actually being tracked by OnStar. That's the future. Every car have an OnStar, so they can track it. So I located the vehicle at the BP gas station over there at Suburban and White Bear. And then the White Bear officer was able to initiate a shutdown of the car, but it's apparently not instantaneous.
As you found out?
As I found out, instantaneous, and it fled southbound on White Bear down to Upper Afton. And there's a certain process. I'm not going to mention it on the air because it might be semi-confidential in terms of what has to take place. But they only shut them down if a police officer is actually physically looking at it. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I suppose that's in case it causes some type of accident or something.
That makes sense.
So, I don't know, it's probably a half mile, but it continued a half mile, and then it did shut down. The guy bailed out into the houses, behind the houses, and then squad set up a perimeter. St. Paul officers did an awesome job, set up a perimeter, and I think he actually tried. The woman behind one of the houses said she saw him fleeing southwest, Pat. But at the corner there, I had the big Marauder light, you know? So he might have turned back. So later, a resident comes out of the house, one of the houses, and says, our service door on our garage is locked.
That would be a
clue. And we never lock it. In fact, we don't even know if we can get in there. But the service door, we're Maryland and Walsh here. We're going southbound. Taking a look at this SUV. Anyhow, sure enough, the officers went into the garage and they found the suspect hiding in the attic. So if you saw that video that was posted on some of the web pages, that was his officers bringing him out of the attic, and then one of those local media sources, I'll mention his name, Tony, captured it. Tony and Steve captured it, and then they posted it, and I think it got shared. If you saw me out there, that was just keep making sure we kept the media at the appropriate distance from the suspect.
Well, he's been slowing for the stop signs. I'll give him that.
Kathy Magnolia, P, that was 12158.
Just a long way to go on a side street for no reason, right? Not technically a reason to stop somebody, but does not have a rear license plate light. Although Pat and I don't use that as probable cause anyhow, but you can see that his license plate, technically there is a law about a license plate light so officers can actually see what your plate is. Up on the old Johnson High School.
Clear. Bravo Tango Hotel 261. And now in the alley.
Here?
Yep.
Right here or the next one?
This one right here. Well, he looks like he knows where he's going.
It's got to be a parking lot, huh?
Yeah.
We'll let him know who we are in case he's nervous.
Bravo 455, have a good night. 2200.
Suppose we could see if he leaves again.
Something's not 100% right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe maybe he lives there. It's like an alley rather than a.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody park here.
Well, I never seen anybody wave to us either. How's it going? Good, how are you? How are you? Is that, hey, go ahead and take that.
I should be valid, man.
It should be valid?
Yeah,
Well, we
I
didn't
just
check
paid,
it.
man. I just paid a lot
We
of
didn't
money,
even,
man.
we're not even, is this a driveway or what?
Yeah, man. I stay here, man.
Right at the house here?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were thinking it was an alley.
No, man. Yeah, it's an alley, but
okay.
I stay here.
Okay.
Man, I'm
That's
just
good.
pulling up, man.
Yeah,
Having a
good.
good night.
Yeah.
How y'all doing tonight, man?
Yeah.
That's Andre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Pat
How
Scott.
y'all doing? Yeah.
Good.
How
Scott.
y'all doing, man?
Man, I haven't seen you in ages.
Hey, man, I've been living, man. Staying
How
out of the
are
way,
you?
man.
How are
There's
you?
been a lot of bullshit going on.
And by the way, we don't
hey,
just-
this is my baby mama on the phone.
Tell
Hey,
your
Tish,
baby mama.
It's the police right here. They literally just pulled.
We didn't
Was
pull you
y'all about-
over.
Was y'all about to pull me over, man?
No, we weren't
Was
gonna
y'all
pull you
about to- Look, hey, listen, Tish, I was just asking was they about to pull me over, right? 'Cause
No.
They got their lights on,
No.
right?
We were
But
letting
I'm
you know.
back valid, though.
Andre, we were letting you
I'm
know
back
who we were.
valid, though.
We didn't want you to think we were ops.
Hey, it's all,
We didn't want you
hey, it's
to-
all good, man. It's all
Hey, by the way,
good.
you're on live on patrol. Do you ever watch that?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, you're on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, man, come on.
Tell your girlfriend to go Facebook Live on patrol.
Oh,
Live on.
hey, y'all have a good night.
All right,
All right,
Andre.
Andre, take care, man.
See you later. Yeah, we didn't actually stop. We just let him know who we are so he doesn't get nervous about who that is back there. Thanks for being so friendly, Andre. In case your girlfriend tunes us in.
2 and 3, we have 1 in custody.
Copy, 1 in custody.
So you're southbound on Arcade. So big Super Bowl Sunday. It's no secret that I'm a Brady fan, but my wife's a huge Patrick Mahomes fan.
As am I.
And I got a sneak peek. Did you get a sneak peek at the Super Bowl commercial that all the the retired pros are doing for Doritos?
No.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Did you want to do, by the way?
Yeah.
I need a. This
While
one
you're
is.
doing that, I'm going to wash some of the windshield here. And
Okay.
just get a little extra.
Bottle or fountain?
2 and 3, same traffic.
Bottle's fine.
Okay.
Bottle's fine. Thank you for asking. You safe in there without me?
Oh yeah, I think I can. I think I can handle it. I'm gonna start taking my radio though, just in case you run into stuff out here. I swear, every time I leave you alone in a parking lot, you get in the middle of something.
All right, we're at the M&H. I'm just gonna do a little window cleaning. Won't be long, and we'll be on our road.
Not sure who that is.
All right, it's all you. See you in a few minutes.
Oh, it might be Zach.
How's it going?
Bravo 382 EMT. Copy, 2205.
Just gonna do the driver's side. I did the passenger side before we left. The trick here is warming up the windshield so it doesn't freeze without warming up the camera. That's the trick.
Bravo 382. Copy, 2205.
That's actually not working that well. By the way, if you're not from Minnesota, temperature tonight's going to be somewhere between 5 and 10 below. And tomorrow night, in the next 5, that's real temperature, not wind chill. And we're going to, hopefully most of the homeless have moved into shelters by now, but we will stop by tonight at some of the encampments. Most of the encampments have been moved
2499. You on the boat, please.
into tonight's not going to be as cold. It might only be 2 to 3, 4 degrees below. But tomorrow
2499, I copy. 22.
tomorrow it's going to be really, really cold. So 5 days worth of 15 below at night. That's just the regular temperature. Not even considering the wind chill.
Bravo 401 EOT.
Which, by the way, 2 years ago we had a polar vortex. We actually had some 20 and 30 belows up here. And
Medical 676, Vidal
So,
for advising.
it was the last week in January, about a week earlier than this. So, not unusual for us to get this cold snap in late January up here. For those of you that are someplace warm and toasty. Most of you know the Winter Carnival medallion was found there in Memorial Park up in White Bear Lake, right across the street from the Optimus Beach in the city of White Bear Lake. Yeah, the problem is it freezes when I put it on there. Yeah, that's right. We got it good. Now we just hopefully we didn't warm the camera up. I just turned my side on warm. That's even possible. I was just telling the viewers from out of state that we're gonna be like 5 below tonight and 15 below the next 5.
Yeah.
And so,
Transferring 1 adult male.
in case
1 adult female.
people are sitting in southern states with nice,
From my location to the LEC,
cozy temperatures.
mileage 826.
No. We good up here?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
it's good.
Thank you for getting a Mountain Dew.
Sure.
Got a fresh one for yourself too. That's good.
5938.
360, copy en route to the Cherry Pit Bar, reference DOC, male outside yelling at other customers. Black male, 24 or 25, average build, braids, white chanting sweatshirt.
All is good.
Yeah,
You did it?
Yeah.
Well, temperature down to your. Hold on a minute here. We're gonna say hi to. What's going on? Oh, we got it. We're probably gonna have to go on mute. It's the best source of information we got here, Under Sheriff Mike Martin.
Gotta put it on mute.
Hit the mute for 1 second. We hit the mute for 1 second.
See you guys.
384.
Oh, he thinks it's Whistler.
Oh, it is.
Where is he?
He's
Gotta
right
get
there.
2211.
Did you get a new car, Wes, or what?
And 360, I cut here in route 1788 Old Hudson at Walgreens on the DOC. Refusal to leave, possibly using the shower in the bathroom. Black male, 35.
All right.
Seen in a red jacket. They are currently in the bathroom.
So we're fully ready now.
We are ready. We are mountain. We are
got the
dude up.
windshield clean.
They're clear.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about this. You know, I didn't really think those clues were that good.
Oh,
But
the
yeah, you know, I got to give them credit. There was a couple that were clever, like the punt was actually a boat. You know, but I'm pretty familiar with that area. But I just didn't count down from 11. It was by 10th Street, between 11th and 10th. But I'm not gonna be overly critical. But it just leads me to believe that, Pat, you and I should do our own treasure hunt.
yeah.
In the summer, a summertime treasure hunt.
There you go. I like the idea. Although I got to give my friend Michelle credit. She She called it being right there.
She did.
Yep.
Well, everybody was that after it was found? Or
Nope,
what?
nope, the night before.
Well, why didn't you call me? Okay, well, good for Michelle. My friend James Dustin was there. You know, that was pretty cool. Had to be pretty cool.
366, I tried it a couple more times. It goes right to voicemail. Copy, thanks. You're welcome. 2230.
Big Tedesco there, you know, that was Tedesco Street we were just on.
Yep.
And I know I've mentioned Vic before because he was on the St. Paul City Council and I was on the council. Just a genuine, wonderful guy.
516.
There's a reason he had a street named after him.
516.
Because he was such a nice man.
Can you make me a
Indeed.
PCN at 1743
But the reason his
Iowa?
street name
No,
down
you're
here
St.
is
John's and Maplewood in relation.
a lot of the immigrant families that moved to St. Paul, when they first would migrate here from other parts of the country,
Copy, 2214.
Humboldt, Sydney. When they would migrate here from other parts of the country, I'll turn this on too. Where that Opticon is. They would settle in the Swede Hollow area. The Swedish moved through there. The Polish, the Italians, a lot of Italian influence in that area there by Russo's restaurant, etc. Because that's where many of them. That's where the Tedesco family got its start, as well in that lower Swede Hollow area. Something going on here at the old pizza place here, Pat. What do you think?
Didn't hear a call.
5184,
Oh, it's just a
5182.
fire. Well, we'll just check it out here for a minute.
Can you put us down at team PCM, please?
5184, 5182.
It's the old Savoy Inn or what?
Not sure.
On assist at 637 Skillman Avenue on a property exchange. Caller waiting in front of the address at 10 Mercedes.
Could be this building as well.
Neighbor's daughter states that dad has the mom and dad
2215.
killer. The daughter's 7.
Department of Human Services might have a fire alarm, huh?
Looks like it.
Received.
Doesn't appear to be a fire here, but right around the back. Give her a look.
I'm gonna put my pack set on 1.
Okay. Put this one on 3, I think. I'll have it there.
4489. 449. On an alarm at 1473 Skillman, audible covering the garage door. We did receive a proper passcode to cancel.
Some bright lights, huh?
449, you can clear that out.
Sure are.
2216.
Do you work here?
Squad 178.
Is there an alarm or what? What happened?
There's an alarm. There's
178.
there's gas.
For a welfare check, 2214 Marshall
A gas
Avenue,
smell?
50th Delta.
Have you talked to them yet?
Caller hears adults screaming as well. Ongoing issue.
In the back or whereabouts?
It's in the basement, the south basement.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Thank you. How is it really bad or what?
it's really bad. You can smell through the whole building.
All right, they're going to have to vent it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you have it. There's a strong gas smell in the basement of the. It's the DNR building there or Social Services?
DHS.
DHS, Department of Human Services. And what happens when it gets really cold? I'm not an expert at this, but I've seen it happen a couple times. If it gets really cold, sometimes the ground
2360.
shifts because it's so cold.
Oh.
You know, like your
We
house.
get a
You start hearing
10
your house
minutes
creak.
on.
Right.
Well, the ground does the same thing, and sometimes the pipes that are in the ground.
2217.
So the most important thing right now is for someone to figure out how to vent that basement.
Right.
And if you don't vent the basement and that gas leak reaches the furnace, that's what you call an explosion.
I'm going to put this on. Oh, we're on 2.
Minnesota Department of Human Services. I'm actually going to try to park a little further away if that's okay.
Quite all right.
Because as of yet, if it really is a strong smell and they haven't vented anything yet, that means the combustibility is increasing. Probably their first goal is they're going to, besides venting, they're going to see if they can shut the gas off to the building. That's a combination of venting it out and shutting it off.
2975 Partridge Road until 3:15. Post is 22911. Just verifying your post 22941. 22911. Copy 2975 Partridge until 3.
Probably worth mentioning that the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office is right across the street.
Yes, it is.
That's our office is right over there. You see those flashing red lights? That's Pat's office down on the first floor. Right there. Oh, actually, we're up the street just a little bit, but yeah, close. Well, hopefully they get in there and
Squad 161.
Get it figured out and get it fixed.
Squad 161.
here's our building right here, yeah.
Yep.
Squad 161. No response to 2220. Copy 2220.
175, I'll start to that.
Interesting how
175 copy with
these other
177
fire
back.
rigs stage down a block. You notice
185
that?
copy.
Yeah.
177 disregard. For DOC 331.
That's where I'd want to be staged.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dangerous job. If the explosion does occur,
They're now all outside walking towards the front and back to the address.
clearly they don't want both firehouses to be impacted. There's another rig around the corner too there.
Well, looks like we got some street racers down in River Park Plaza down by Comcast.
There's another one over there staging,
Huh.
2 blocks away.
Squad 510.
510.
560, please put me on 516's call. And I'll be around.
So if you're a new viewer, we're coming into downtown St. Paul on East 7th Street, home of the Minnesota Wild. Some great restaurants down here as well. The St. Paul Saints baseball team.
Looking forward to everything getting opened up again, hopefully this spring and summer.
You know, we're still at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, all of our restaurants and bars have to close for COVID policy. Hopefully that'll change. It's hard to tell what's going to happen. I'm scheduled to get my second shot tomorrow.
Are you?
70
Okay.
pulling up.
Yeah.
2220.
Everyone in our office that got it said they were sick for 2 days. But I guess it's still worth it, huh?
Yeah.
Get that 95% immunity factor. So I was hoping maybe we'd go out Sunday or Monday night just to, in that cold vortex, just to see if we can be of any help to some of the homeless.
I like the idea.
But I just want to make sure that can't commit to that, to make sure I'm feeling okay.
Right.
But,
Yeah, no point doing it if you're not feeling well.
I don't know why it is, but they say the second shot, the reaction is worse than the first one.
385, trying to get a call back to get in.
But maybe it'll be better. Some people say they get no reaction.
Yeah, I know a couple people who've been that way, where they
370 copy and
it was nothing.
But I've heard it is the fatter you are, the less the reaction. Huh? What do you think? I might not have any.
310.
That's my goal.
You're big boned.
Yeah, big bone. Let's see. So like I said, I never start my diet till after the Super Bowl, which is of course Sunday. So it's going to be the most watched television event in the history of man.
Oh, no doubt.
That's going to be unbelievable. You know, the guy that's the most upset that Brady beat the Packers, Rodgers, is Jake from State Farm. Can you imagine? Jake from State Farm has both the finalists in the Super Bowl in his commercial. Jake from State Farm. That's
funny.
It's the Rodgers rate. Now, wouldn't it be funny if they did one with Brady in there?
Yeah.
The three of them having breakfast.
Oh, they should.
Jake from State Farm. Yeah. And you know that kid that receiver from Tampa Bay that Brady threw in a semis. Well, I shouldn't say semis before he threw that out pattern. He caught on the backside. I want to say Jensen. I apologize for forgetting the kid's name, but he went to North. He played football over there for Coach Adams over there, North Minneapolis.
Okay.
Just an unbelievable kid. And so we got a local Minneapolis success story playing in the Super Bowl.
Nice.
He was a gopher too, of course, but just so we're down on West 7th Street here. Looks like they're closing up here, just getting everybody out. Bars close at 10 down here. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel had them all on last night doing bad tweets about themselves. You ever watch that?
I have seen that.
Son is going to be headed down to let you in.
Worth watching.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 2225. Trade for.
We're going down to that 1000 block of St. Paul Avenue.
Yeah.
Just show you the general area that we're talking.
Copy at 2225.
What are you thinking, Pat?
I was looking at that Navigator with no plates. We're past the point of the 21 days being good, aren't we?
It's supposed to all be those new ones, but I suppose
I'm sure there's a few stragglers.
Yeah. Being down here by Irvin Park reminds me of last week, and that poor woman was scared to death of pulling by that car, and she was talking about how nervous she is about carjackings.
Yep. So we turn on here. Douglas.
It's like he's definitely not going to eat at DeGidio's because they're closed. We'll let him commit. But he's got no plate on. That's why we're taking a look at him. No plate on the front either. Hi. light to work pretty soon. Roll your window down, sir. Sir, you have no license plates on that car. Well, you gotta have, they're issuing tags now. Where'd you buy it at? Where did you buy it at? Wisconsin? You got the proof of sale with you? Can you get it out? Can you get it out and bring it over to me? You can have her bring it out, that's fine. Have her bring your driver's license over too. Okay. You live around here or not? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Why don't you roll your window down all the way? Pardon me? I'm very sorry. What was his name? Yeah. You know? Okay. Very sorry.
Squad 174, you code 4.
Affirmative.
Copy 2228. Squad 269. And a squad to assist for a man down Jefferson and Victoria. Medic 10 will be en route to check for a male that the comp saw an hour ago. Should be wearing a reflective vest.
What year is that truck?
I got
Nice
it. Yeah,
looking.
just back me up right there. Let me see that, ma'am. Is this a bill of sale? Okay. You own it? You're the owner?
I'm close to that. I'll assist.
We both are?
656, copy 2229.
286.
Yeah.
286.
Advised with 206. Reference our last call. You can cancel.
What's your first name, sir?
Earlier. Checked on his welfare. He was okay.
What's
So
your
you
first
can
name?
Head back over there.
What's your date of birth?
Copy 269, 656.
What's your zodiac sign?
Next to it.
Yeah, what's your zodiac sign? You know, like Gemini.
There's a guy that's down by Jefferson.
You don't know your zodiac sign? Huh?
Kind of heading over by McDonald's now. I don't know if that's the same guy they were talking about.
How old are you? How old are you? Well, there's no plates on the car in Minnesota. You got to have something in your window.
510
Yeah, it's not tracking.
Yeah. So this doesn't have anything to do with you on here, right? No, you don't have any bill of sale, or this is just...
Checking channels 2 and 3 for coast.
You found what? Yeah. Well, you have no plates. We're checking out your car. You're parked in a parking lot that is the restaurant's closed, and so we're... Yeah, but people don't park in a parking lot when they're trying to find a hotel, okay? Yeah. Then usually people just plug it into their phone and they go there. Okay. All right. Well, you're just going to have to stand by when we check you out, okay? Thank you. Sit in the back seat here. Here we go. Well,
Squad 537.
is there anything in there we should know about?
No, just I don't like the way you guys are treating me.
Well, if you had all the proper
214
information, ma'am, we would have been out of here.
Ground level.
Keep out of the lot.
Security in Kellogg Street, North 10. On a DOC, reference a male that was threatening to kill people and threatening to call more people to shoot up the address. Black male, mid-40s, 5'10", average build. gray and brown coat and blue jeans.
Copy.
2232.
Downtown St. Paul.
Is there a transit squad on Channel 2? Transit 234.
Hilton Garden Inn.
Transit 234, we just transferred you this DOC at the Union Depot. I see that he's on the light rail
There's not a
platform.
Hilton
I have
Garden
St.
Inn.
Paul and Route. Do you want
Does he
them
get a
to
driver's
continue or
license?
Yeah,
cancel?
he's valid. Out of Minneapolis, 23.
We'll take care of it.
Copy, thank you. Squad 5370 cleared.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you got.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome. 2234.
Just hang tight. Yeah, are you staying in St. Paul or are you staying in Minneapolis? Well, there's a Hilton Garden Inn in Bloomington. That's at the Mall of America.
No, it wasn't. It's gotta be
Hilton Garden Inn. Well, there's no garden inns in St. Paul.
it's right.
360.
Holiday or Hilton? You said Hilton.
360.
I'm not trusting.
Yeah, see if they get the cop back on the line. See if they can go open the apartment door. Let us in. Copy.
Something in it.
Squad 3926 and 39.
Hampton Inn and Suites, downtown St. Paul.
26.
0.6 miles away. So
Okay,
you put all street
that's
shoppers on
360 copy.
the...
2234.
No, that's right. You want to help? I don't know what about his heist car. Well, he doesn't have any warrants. I assume he'll be on his way here shortly. Not while they're talking to him. You're welcome. So it's temporary statement. I'll walk over there in 2 minutes once you can have a seat and you can leave on if you want. Excuse me, let me just call this to you. I can call the van in. Corb out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
Plate is Nancy Union 7990 with May of 21 tab.
Send her on her way. Tell her to get some plates.
Everything checks out. Appreciate your call.
Hey, you're two things. You need to have plates, and he has an expired license.
Yeah, we're, like I said, we got an appointment with DMV, but
Sound good. Sound good.
You're 0.6 of a mile down the road, right there.
All right, so anyhow, it's the car comes back clear. It didn't have any plates or any tags whatsoever. They didn't really have a proper bill of sale, but Wisconsin does have different rules on transferring. It was a Wisconsin purchase, and they did have a copy of a title. It wasn't really a title, a copy of a title that was signed by a man that matched the name. And turns out he did have a license, but it's expired. First, he told the officer he didn't have a license. That's why the officer put him in handcuffs, because he didn't have a license. And then it turned out when we ran it, he had a license, it was expired. They clarified. But there's a huge difference in a suspended or revoked or canceled license.
Right.
And an expired license. We're certainly not gonna arrest people for expired licenses during COVID. And it's the first person though that I think was actually the right person that didn't know his zodiac sign.
Yeah, and he legit didn't know it.
And the reason I knew his zodiac sign is he was born on February 14th, which of course is what?
I have to look at the chart. I don't know what it is either.
Valentine's Day.
I know what
It's Valentine's Day,
well,
which
yeah, it's
happens to be my mom's birthday too. Close enough to mine that I knew it was Aquarius.
Okay.
But he didn't get Aquarius right either. So, must be a dying generation. So we let them drive with expired licenses because during COVID it's tough to get your license renewed. A lot of the lines are long, etc.
Appointments are a long ways out.
So we always scold them. Get some plates. But I bet Wisconsin does not have the same rule about the plate, because Wisconsin is a strange state when it comes to license plates. The plate used to go with the owner rather than the car.
Right.
You remember that?
Probably not.
Yeah.
So
It never made sense to me, but
looked in the car. It does look like they had traveled a long way to get here. Got a lot of stuff in there. Gidio's lot, though, however, is not free parking after close. Of course, we had those, I don't know what they're called, Cop Watch Media, the same people that filmed the other night problem for us is they watch our feet and then they come to our stops. And Tony and Steve, if you're listening, the only thing we're going to ask is that you stay further away than any squad car. If you're inside the perimeter where the squad car is, you're obstructing our legal process. So stay outside of where the squad cars are.
And you're just fine. You can film as much as you want.
Yeah, you got to zoom on that camera. It's not hard to just stay a little bit. We can allow you access to what you need to film, but you can't come inside our circle. And it's partially for your safety too, in case something goes wrong.
Exactly.
So, did you say one of those was on Boland? When you were reading some of those the night before last? 1000 or 1900 Boland. Swing by Boland and
oh, that was in my phone.
well, you notice I didn't approach the car right away. We never like to approach a car in that position, just because it's just an awkward position to have them have better cover than we have. So as long as I could get some of the information from the passenger, have them walk over to us. On a legitimate stop now, the Supreme Court has said we have the right to ask people to get out of the car for that reason. Out there, Pat.
Oh yeah, 1640 Boland.
1640
That was,
Boland.
yeah.
Why don't you plug that in and swing by there? What happened there again? Which one was that?
That was an Asian male in his 20s, 5'6", wearing black clothing, tried to steal the owner's blue Toyota Prius that was parked in the driveway.
Okay, then.
What do we got going on your channel one over there?
Copy 2245. 161, copy. Took the noise complaint, 1984 Marshall Avenue. About 15 people at the address playing loud music for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah, if you haven't already shared this Facebook broadcast, we'd appreciate it if you would. The more people we can reach, the better.
Well, I don't know about you, but my fingers got chilly out there.
It's a little nippy, right?
Yeah.
Should turn that heat down. I suppose we're gonna. It's only at 65 degrees, but it's a lot warmer than the zero. Where am I going here, Navigator? Straight ahead?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're gonna go right on Snelling, and then might be the first left after we go right on Snelling.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Looks like we got an alarm, and not too far off too.
81 Tango.
That's impending, so I won't say the address.
with a suspicious vehicle. Minnesota Edward Henry Yellow 468. The LA Fitness parking lot.
Put this on one.
And what do you?
Squad 185.
3 over here.
Okay.
185.
For a residential alarm, 1943 James Avenue. It's covering the side door.
185 copy.
2248.
Well,
gonna go.
we'll run down there. The night.
731 Stockdale Road on this suicidal juvenile. Caller
It's not
advised.
unusual for alarms to go off in this very cold weather.
He has no plan, no
But-
violent, no unknown weapons.
185, can you 10 the address again? Computer down.
Copy at 2248.
Affirmative. It's 1943 James Avenue. Again, 1943 James.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 2248.
So,
2248.
yeah, I think that works. Get up in Cleveland.
Yep. Or Fairview.
Fairview better, 18, 20, 2 blocks over.
Twenty-three 62 Tango, key up into 63's call.
Copy 2249.
366, copy your route 395 Van Dyke Street on a DOC. Printed male that was pounding on the door, yelling, stating that there's people chasing him. Male was a black male, 40 to 50, 5'7", thin average build, red coat, class C running westbound.
Like Bob was saying, cold weather sets off a lot of alarms. Wind, cold weather, storms. But they all need to be checked.
136, change number.
I'm sorry, which squad was asking for a case number?
136.
126. Case number is 024823.
Oh, I think I just missed my turn, right?
No, we got to turn on Randolph.
On Randolph. Okay.
7130.
So it is possible somebody is in this house on James. So that's 1820. This should be 1880. All right, the next one should be 1940. That should be a corner house then, right?
Should be, I think we're going to go all the way to, yeah, here. This is it.
Yeah, take it right here.
Yep.
That should be the
And then I think it's the first left.
Yes. We have had burglaries in this neighborhood.
Yep, it's the corner house right there.
Yeah. It's very dark. no lights on in that house.
It's a side door alarm.
One, two, nine. 129. Can you update my call location to Dale and University? 2253.
This is the neighbor's lot here, so the only way out of the backyard here is through that fence there.
Is that a motion light just went on?
I think it was on when we pulled around. I don't know if it's somebody set it on or.
Information first about to check your mobile first officer on the road for a vehicle taken in a breach of trust at 2253.
What do you think? Stay here?
I think so too.
I'm gonna watch the perimeter until the St. Paul squad shows up.
Is at the back of the address.
Okay, something keeps setting off that. I don't know if it's us, if it's that sensitive a light.
Well, he can only come out that way.
Right.
Unless he wants to jump fences. Well, we'll sit here. Usually you can hear people. There, it's off again, huh? Yep. Must be us.
81 and 17, I'll check in status. Control. 81 and 17, I copy your control to 2254.
On again.
I don't know. The thing about it is, I don't see any lights on in that house. Usually, burglars got a flashlight or something.
1287.
287.
1345 Western Avenue North, apartment 15, on a disturbance noise complaint for loud music.
Okay.
2255.
Is that a squad?
I'm not sure if that's a squad or one of our. It's one of ours.
3921 transport.
56 checking status.
Go ahead. Mail from my location of the PD. Mileage 93.
Code 4 for now.
The PD at 2256.
Copy. Do you need a second?
2260, I copy. Just advise.
Only our phones available.
60 copy.
2256.
Just wait, where is she?
Webster and Randolph.
Copy, I'll start from HQ.
2257.
So while we're sitting here, we got all sides of the building covered with our squad, just waiting for the St. Paul car to come in here and they can maybe check the interior. Usually what happens is they call a key holder and the key holder will either come out or talk to the officers. But if we see some lights come on in this house, people wake up, then we'll go talk to them ourselves.
175 and 177.
That might be them, huh?
177.
That's 185.
75.
For a vehicle at Hardee's 369 Hamlin, causing a disturbance within the drive-thru, refusing to leave after being refused service, honking and horn loudly.
318.
177.
I got this is you.
2258.
You're welcome. 22.
175.
2258.
So what else you got for us, Pat?
136. Caller advising that
What other
her
tidbits of...
sister's items were taken at about.
There's been a pretty dramatic increase in what's going on in Highland Park and McAllister Groveland since spring.
Yeah, if you stick with us late enough, a lot of these carjackings have been very late at night or early in the morning even.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had high frequency of stolen cars driving around at 3-ish.
260.
You said you could work late tonight, right? Just not next week?
Right.
Yeah. We'll probably work a little bit later tonight than normal.
You both can be clear the vehicle left.
We did get a little bit of a later start.
Oh.
Copy, we're on the scene.
And you got a nap, you said, so. So a lot of police work is actually doing what we're doing right now, right? How many times have you sat on a perimeter
Exactly.
for an hour or two? So we think the St. Paul car that's coming here got delayed, is what it's looking like. And this is going to be good because we have, you know, they're probably listening to us, and really it's got some people that like to videotape us, and sometimes it's, you know, gets intrusive, sometimes not, but
113.
right now they're walking in the outside here trying to videotape us again. And that's our right to be on a sidewalk in 0-degree weather.
Yes, it is.
Brandon's on that.
318. 318.
Pretty sure I got a stolen going northbound arcade at Wheelock. It's a gray 2011 Silverado with a topper.
What?
Should be Alpha Romeo Hotel 337. If you can let Maplewood know. I'm still a few blocks behind it. It looks like it's going pretty good, so I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it.
We got a stolen going northbound arcade into Maplewood.
Appeared to be a small frame Asian male driving with
2300.
Hey, 197 Tango. Checking status.
Control phone.
917, I'm sorry, go again.
95, we're control.
Yeah, disregard. It's going to go north to Maplewood if you let them know.
Copy, vehicle continuing into Maplewood from Larpenter, 2301.
Can you show me out on Century, just south of Upper Afton with Oakdale on traffic?
Copy.
You can show me around there.
95, we're still controlled. We got one detained.
So now they're standing within 6 feet of my window.
Is a gray Chevy Silverado with a topper on it. Again, northbound arcade from Wheelock. Information at 2301.
So the St. Paul car has now arrived here at the scene.
Okay, good.
2500, 2163.
You can cancel fire in a lineup.
2163, I copy. Yeah, 2302.
Keep blocking these out so you can't record them. Cool.
It's going to be Woodbury, not Oakdale.
Copy, this is Jim Woodbury.
5188 area.
Copy at 2302. 2500, checking status.
So now they're
2500, checking status.
Code 401 in custody for DWI.
2500,
taping the St. Paul officers over there.
2303.
PD 195. We got one in custody.
Copy, squad code 4.
Whatever happened to that stolen? You know?
Went on into Maplewood.
Did they curtail it then?
Yeah.
Copy, code 4 is one in custody at 2303.
Just notified Maplewood.
Got the plate?
Yep. It was a Silverado, right? ARH 337.
Copy that, I read. One two five.
125.
Courtesy ride, adult male to live in Suites Head, Century and 94.
So we're securing the perimeter while St. Paul is checking the house.
Copy, courtesy ride.
If the door is locked but the alarm went off, they'll attempt to get a hold of an owner. And if it's open, they'll probably conduct a search of the inside, clear the house. But we didn't see any movement, any lights in there. Although I can tell you this neighborhood was burglarized before a couple times.
Park in Como for a parking complaint.
But usually it was earlier in the evening, not... Well, both earlier in the evening, now that I think about it, they went into the house, they stole the cars. Remember, they were stealing cars from houses.
Mm-hmm.
Late at night while people are sleeping. So, hey, anything's possible there.
185.
St. Paul cars moving on.
Transport
Okay.
25. Premise is secured. And you can just add notes, our computer's down. Check the address here, and all the doors and windows appear to be secured. Cleared out with the alarm report.
Copy, 2305.
Yep, and cleared out with 2400.
56.
Copy that. What's the description of that vehicle?
226.
Well,
And
just
The
out
gray
of luck.
Chevy Silverado. Again, Minnesota license, Alpha Romeo Hotel 337. They lost the vehicle.
We're over on Arcade most of the night.
The PD, one adult male.
Copy, showing up to the PD, 5188, go ahead.
You can clear us unfounded and put 820 on PT.
Copy, 2306.
I guess in this job you just got to get used to being stalked.
I guess so.
A lot of these young cops, I mean, it's uncomfortable because you don't know if there's a danger element or not.
Right.
People stalking you with a camera. Sometimes the danger isn't a direct danger, it's just,
2163.
Distracting you from what you're trying to do.
Here's the other thing that happens, and I've seen it happen before.
They can change it to assist citizen, clear squad
You
assist.
get some self-described media journalist, and all of a sudden an officer's out on a scene, and the people that the officer's dealing with get mad at the journalist for recording them.
Yeah.
No, a fight and an argument starts. Actually, that just happened recently. We won't mention who that happened with one of the legislators. That they got into a yelling match. So then it complicates our job. to try to keep the peace between the camera person and the citizen that we're dealing with. So it's
At 113 to 114, two of those cars just went north on left.
so.
I need a little something on my feet, Bob.
Oh yeah, well, 66 ain't cutting it. What do we got here? What do we got here? Climate control. Feet.
There we go. Thank you. You're a good guy.
See, I was testing you to see what your limits were.
Well, you just discovered it.
It reminds me of a story. So, this is an interesting story. I'm going to tell it as soon as we just... So right now we're in the area of where that, on St. Paul Avenue.
2007.
2007. Go ahead.
I will be giving a courtesy ride to a female from Rice and McCarran.
So we're down on St. Paul Avenue in the area where that attempted carjacking, robbery, shots fired occurred. And so we've had a number of them in Highland Park of late, which is extremely unusual except for the last 3 or 4 months. But this St. Paul Avenue runs into Cleveland. Cleveland runs into Ford Parkway, and there's an easy access over to Minneapolis. So that's one avenue of escape. And we do know that they've used the Ford Bridge for an avenue of escape. There. Yep.
Yeah.
So...
Notice most of the ones over here where we're able to track where the vehicle ends up going to are going directly to Minneapolis after they strike here.
33 for a PIC.
207 on County County.
She did recently have a safety test conducted.
Turn our lights on so people...
207 discharge.
It's probably on high alert down here.
Yeah.
Suspect. I believe she was drugged.
So...
Notifying medics.
The other avenue out of here is off of West 7th Street, where there's been a ton of activity down there in Richfield, too. With stolen cars and carjackings. And of course, West 7th Street goes out to 494 to the Bloomington, Richfield area.
Yeah, when 7th Street turns into 494, 5 and 494, I mean, you're 5 minutes from Richfield and Bloomington.
But you see, there aren't many cars down here, not a lot of traffic, and we do need, if you see something suspicious, you're driving through your neighborhood, something doesn't fit, it's completely okay for you to call us and say, hey, suspicious car in my neighborhood. You know, you have the right to report suspicion in your neighborhood.
And you know your neighborhood, and you know if something feels out of place.
It's different for you. I mean, officers have a higher threshold.
Kind of looks like maybe an Audi right in front of us there.
Officers have a higher threshold.
Not it. And it's a Hyundai.
Down at the bottom of the hill. You're down from the Highland Park Hill. Down off of St. Paul Avenue.
220.
Good.
What, 220?
We don't get a ton of calls down here, obviously. Pretty peaceful.
255 Maryland.
But it's definitely been picking up.
255 Maryland Avenue East.
We're still on, this is on Channel 1, but part of West 7th Street is on Channel 2. I don't know where the border is here. I think we're coming up on it, but just a reminder for those of you new, we have 6 frequencies that we're monitoring. 3 in the city of St. Paul, which Channel 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 in the suburbs, which is west suburb, central suburb, and eastern suburb.
Copy 220.
Copy, thank you.
126, go ahead.
How's your feet? Are they any better?
Much. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it reminds me, speaking of checking your tolerance, checking your limits. So when our son, Bobby, was born, it was, an awesome day. We took him home, and he wasn't eating properly. He was spitting up, and he just wasn't digesting things properly, passing stools. So, it's not unusual for babies.
Right.
Okay, at the beginning. But after a couple days, my wife knew something wasn't right. Call it mother's intuition. Okay? So we took him to the hospital, Children's Hospital. I might have mentioned this story once before. We took him to Children's Hospital down there and saw Dr. Ace. They had an ultrasound done, and it turned out he had a malrotation of his intestines. Basically, the intestines were rotated and tied in a knot.
That's scary.
He was like 5 days old. So they had to do instant surgery. They canceled everything else. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to skip that story. I change stories so well. But the point of that story is we had struggled so long to get him, and you can imagine how important it is when you're struggling to have a child to have something go wrong. But my wife had what's called hyperemesis, where she was on bed rest to even have him for 7 months.
Wow.
7 months on bed rest. And I was unfamiliar with it. For those women who have suffered with it, it's I completely understand how difficult that can be. It's like morning sickness for 7 months. You never get over it. You want to throw up, you can't eat, etc. And so it's so bad. We're going across the Mississippi River here on the 7th Street Bridge. Partly just to show you the corridors these car thieves are using to go back and forth between Minneapolis, Richfield, Bloomington.
And if they hop off here on 55,
which I think we're gonna,
they're over by the VA hospital and the Nokomis neighborhood of Minneapolis.
So, and they know that the information transfer between St. Paul and Minneapolis is not instantaneous, right?
Right.
Much as we'd like to. We do share information, but, it's not like we dispatch their stolens on our air. And, so, we're going to run back into St. Paul on 35E. But we could take 62 the other way and end up in Richfield, Bloomington, Southdale Mall. Anyhow, back to the hyperemesis. So, my wife had to have a PICC line put in to get her fluids and vitamins. PICC line goes, right into your arteries.
Right.
For 7 months. And she could only, we always joke Bobby was really made out of Kit Kat or Twix bars. That's the only thing she could really eat and keep down for 7 months. But obviously every day, twice a day, I would change her PICC line and help her. We had a nurse come to the house, etc. It was a miserable 7 months for my wife, but this is why I tell you, when after all that, then your child has a malrotation. You can see the mental crisis that you're in there.
Oh, I cannot imagine.
So you're on Zofran. After a while, the nurse trains me on how to administer the Zofran. And Zofran, of course, as cancer patients use it to help them deal with, chemo to keep them from throwing up, and I know you're more than familiar with all that cycle. So, Zofran keeps you from throwing up, but you never know for sure if you're over the hyperemesis. Sometimes the hyperemesis passes in a month or 2 or 3. Rarely does it go the whole pregnancy.
Copy that. Thank you.
You don't know for sure until you test your tolerance, right?
Okay.
Like the heat. So every once in a while, the doctor would say, well, you know, just cut back on the Zofran a little bit. See how she does. Don't ever do that to your wife. So every once in a while you'd cut back on the amount you give it her, and all of a sudden she'd be miserable and say, what did you do? I said, well, the doctor told me to cut back on the Zofran to see if... No, don't do that again. So,
lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Don't test the tolerance of a poor woman suffering from hyperemesis by cutting back on the Zofran. So I'm just going to drop the heat to 55 and test you there. I don't know if my wife's listening. Is she going to appreciate that story or not?
Well, I'll tell you, chilly feet is nothing compared to hyperemesis.
Yeah, hyperemesis gravatum or something. There's a term for it. But 7 months of bed rest, because you just feel like you want to throw. You're nauseous. You want to throw up. It's a medical condition.
LB clear report with Downtown Beach Transit and 9.
I don't know what percent. Everybody gets some morning sickness, but some get it extended for months and some forever. And the funny part about that is the moment her water broke, it went away.
Really?
It was gone. It was gone. So we're in the hospital. We're at St. John's Hospital there in Maplewood, and she hasn't been able to eat a meal. So her water broke, and she finally feels hungry for something besides a Twix bar.
That was going to be my question.
Yes.
Was she ravenously hungry?
Yes. So we're in the hospital, and her water broke, and she's in labor, and they say, would you like us to bring you some food? And she says, yes, please, bring me, I'd really like to eat something. And so they bring a plate with a silver dome top on it, okay? And they bring it to her, and they put it in her lap, and she pulls off the dome, and it's a piece of dry toast.
Oh, jeez. Gee, thanks.
Dry toast.
Holy smokes.
Oh, my gosh. Dry toast. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think there might have been a slice of butter on the side, but it wasn't on the toast. It was dry toast.
Oh, man.
Can you get something from Olive Garden? It's right across the street there. Some fettuccine Alfredo or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, anyhow, that's the story for tonight. Coming back into Ramsey County, we're about to cross over the river here. Just took a short detour across over by the airport. Got a major airport here in the Twin Cities. If you're not familiar with this, we got actually two airports there. Used to be called Lindbergh Terminal, now it's Terminal 1, and then Humphrey Terminal, Terminal 2. One named for Charles Lindbergh, the other for Hubert Humphrey, who was the vice president, of course.
Mayor of Minneapolis at one point.
Yep. And actually, before we went into Minneapolis, we had to get permission from Sheriff Dave Hutchinson, the finest sheriff in Hennepin County.
Oh, he's absolutely the best sheriff in Hennepin County.
The best sheriff in Hennepin County. But in all seriousness, our compliments to Sheriff Hutchinson and the Minneapolis Police Department, because they have been doing a great job at cracking down on the carjackers over there in Minneapolis. You know, been arresting a number of people, taking a number of guns off the street. So it's got to be a team effort. I talked to Sheriff Hutchinson a couple times today. We're going to need to do more cooperatively in some of these carjackings that are going on across the river, setting up some information sharing. And we're never going to talk about the Chauvin incident on this program. It's in the court system, and we don't want to have any conversation about it. But we are obviously preparing and working together if there's any impact of the trial on the officer needs in terms of ensuring people have the right to express their opinion, at the same time that other people have the right to ensure that they are safe from civil disobedience. So we got to balance that. And of course, we have a lot of discussions. You read in the paper the governor is proposing $35 million be allocated in anticipation of potential civil unrest, or really what he's planning for is illegal civil unrest, similar to what happened on Lake Street and University Avenue. So spend a lot of time in meetings today internally at our sheriff's office, and I know Sheriff Hutchinson as well, discussing how to prepare for that. Now, we don't know if the trial is actually going to occur in March. It's scheduled for March 8th here, but there is a motion in front of the appeals court to add an additional charge of murder 3, because the original Judge Cahill had eliminated murder 3 and said you're going to have to charge with murder 2, one or the other. So we're not sure if that is added. That might require some additional prep time, and the trial could be pushed back. So plus there's a variety of other issues, but as of right now, the trial is scheduled March 8th in here in Minneapolis if you're from outside of. And of course, we're talking about the incident involving George Floyd. For those of you from the rest of the country are wondering what the heck trial we're talking about. So,
you know, I want to go back to you mentioning Minneapolis Police Department's work and the nexus to one of the Highland Park. I meant to address this earlier, but the robbery at Talbot's, where the 2 women working there were beaten by the suspects who did the robbery. The Minneapolis Police Department knew that the vehicle was a stolen that was used, and it went on to do another robbery. I believe it was in St. Anthony. It may have been Minneapolis. But because of their relationships with the community, Minneapolis PD got a tip as to where the suspect vehicle was and who one of the suspects possibly was. And they ended up recovering some of the property stolen from Talbot's in the vehicle, and they made an arrest of a 16-year-old who has now been charged with aggravated robbery in relation to that incident. So that was an outstanding job by Minneapolis PD.
Yeah. It was great that you tied the dots together. Maybe it's connected the dots.
That was, the robbery of Talbot's was probably shocked the conscience of Highland Park residents more than any other recent crime there.
Right.
And created a true feeling of insecurity.
Well, we're not shy about saying we believe the reduction in the number of police officers contributes to that level of insecurity.
Absolutely.
125 assisted with 128.
A year and a half ago, St. Paul Police did a city council ordered study on the number of officers needed. The study, financed by the city council, concluded they needed an additional 50 officers.
120.
You know?
120.
Yep.
And just so we're clear,
There's a fence on the north side of the building. It can easily be accessed on foot.
It was a very objective study, paid for and done and articulated, and then not only did they not honor the 50 request, but they cut 40. Cut 40, so the net, through attrition of course, but the net impact is a reduction of 90 officers.
That'd probably be best.
So.
And per the alarm company, the flashlight was likely coming from the upper garage floor.
Obviously, this debate is happening all around the country. And, at some point, it has to stop. Because let's face it, the presence of a police officer does help prevent crime. Let's just get over that.
It's pure common sense.
I'm going to go to 2 on this one. If you want to go to 1, it's yours.
Okay.
Copy, will be in the alley, 2327.
Well, be nice
if there's any point of entry, it's going to be up here.
come up with that other stolen again, huh?
Right.
Silverado.
Have it on.
Anyhow, I just want to say that my wife's instinct about Bobby was 100% right when he was home. And they said another day, if you had waited another day, his intestines would have stopped functioning. He would have ended up having to have a bag attached to his intestines.
Oh my goodness.
So trust your instincts, moms.
There really is something
There's something about a mom's instinct.
Yeah. Intuition is a real thing.
Bobby's 100% fine. I tell him that story periodically. But one thing I do remember is my wife in a ball on the floor crying when the doctor told her that he has to go into immediate surgery. She didn't fall, but I didn't grab her fast enough to stop her from just, and everything of course turned out fine, so. I love you, Chris. You did good. Your backseater's getting a little bored back there?
210 PPV.
Well, I'm going to reluctantly give out our text number
Actually changed
because
that.
as of right now,
267 Cliff.
I'm not sure if these are total texts or unread texts. I have 1,700. But I'm going to give out the number for our text, which do not call this number. This is only for text, please. The number is 651-775-8928. And I assure you I will respond as soon as possible to your questions and concerns. 651-775-8928.
So we are westbound on Maryland from 35E, headed into the Central District. You know, east of 35E is the Eastern District of St. Paul. We're headed into the Central District. And, hey, Sheriff Hutchinson, by the way, Sheriff Hutchinson, if you are listening, give us a call. Give us a call, only if you haven't been drinking, though. Sheriff Hutchinson is the sheriff of the largest county. There he is. Sheriff Dave Hutchinson. Can you hear us okay?
692.
Hang on a minute, Sheriff Hutchinson.
Squat's back 1 2.
Let's see if I can get you.
Can you hear me?
There, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
How's it going there, gentlemen?
Well, thanks for calling us by our proper titles. You want to?
That's a new lead for me. February is nice guy, Dave.
Nice. Hang on 1 second.
Dispute with the clerk about discarded money.
Turn that bad news radio off.
Yeah, sorry. It's bad news radio. Is that what you call it? Bad news radio?
Yeah, never no good news ever comes on it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sheriff. So
Not as dumb as I look. And I'm not drinking tonight, by the way. I actually just got done watching some TV and going to bed like normal people.
I saw on your Facebook that the Somalis honored you with a nice homemade shirt from Somalia. That was nice. Nice of Abdi to bring that back for you. You look good in it.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. You said it looked a little tight, but I'll have to I'll have to mix in a salad here and there to cut her down.
Squad 120 checking
It
squad
looked pretty
status.
good. Turn it down just a little bit, Pat.
Sure.
So, yeah, we want you to come up patrol. We were in your county for a little bit. Thanks for giving us permission.
Oh, I know. I got the text from our little birdie in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
know,
anyhow, great.
I know whenever crossover.
Good job on your cracking down. You and Minneapolis cracking down. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did and what you came up with over there, as far as guns.
Yeah. So the week before last, we went out there with Minneapolis and their CERT team and their gun team, and we went out and just did some proactive policing. We got almost 50 arrests, 69 felony charges. I think we got 15 or 20 guns. We got a few stolen cars, a few cases, and just to let you know, Bob, that I'm sending some people to pit school, and I think March, so we're going to get some of the deputies trained so we can make sure nobody gets hurt from these wild and crazy people fleeing from the police like it's normal now. It just baffles me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know you were out about 2 weeks ago. You were out assisting our guys, our VSET guys, our violent crime enforcement team over there in your county. And thanks for being over there to help them. Thanks for being.
Yeah, they did good. It was a bad guy. He was not good. So I think he's as good as out the streets for a while at least, and the good guys won another one. So what do you do?
Yeah.
And then so I do actually want, if you got a few seconds, I was going to say if we could. I just got to find this super thing here. 1 second. What's that? What have you guys been up to tonight? Well, I look at this.
Been a little slow so far, but as soon as we say that. Hey, but I'll tell you what, one thing I would like you to talk about, because I've heard you talk about it before, I'm getting a little feedback on your phone, but is how much mental health issues there. I know we take a little grief for, our ability or not ability to deal with mental illness in our jails, but, we're the last line of protection. And I know you've been very vocal about how important it is.
It is important. I think that the state and United States lawmakers and Congress people and representatives need to come up with a better plan. We can have places for these people to get medication, talk therapy, and get on the right track, to go to college or trade or go to work. And we're doing it backwards here. These people don't belong, as you know, Bob. They don't belong in jail. They're mentally ill or suffering from mental health crisis, and they commit kind of different behavior because of that illness. They're not all bad people. They don't all commit crimes, violent crimes. They just sometimes commit crimes because they don't know how to act sometimes. And I'm getting sick and tired of us just because public safety is always the lowest hanging fruit, and we're always the bad guys and ladies. But we have to fix the problem, Bob. As you know, these people belong in places they can get help. We do a great job in Ramsey and Hennepin, I know that. But the system's backwards. We got to fix it. Yeah. People suffering from mental health crisis, people addicted to narcotics, they don't belong in jail necessarily. They belong in places where they can get help and be healthy. Because the goal of life is to, support yourself, get educated if you want, have the car and the house and live life, and we should, as citizens, give them the right to do that. Yeah. In my opinion, they don't belong in jail.
Right. Hey, are you
jails for bad people that go around carjacking people, shooting people, hurting their kids? Like, those people belong in jail, and the more room we can get, the more stuff we can do to get the real criminals off the streets.
That's a very good point. Very, very good point. You told me you were going to start a podcast. You have an awesome radio voice, by the way.
I have one, but I don't, I didn't have any time, and then it's like when I get home, I just sometimes want to hang out and watch TV and not actually do work. But I'm probably going to hire this young guy that's going to help me do most of it. So it'll be back, and
well, let me just say this, Dave. You got a great personality. You're a very kind person, and I know a lot of your friends enjoy visiting with you. I think a lot of your Hennepin residents, and probably larger than that, would enjoy listening to you, because you're a really good voice out there, and I've appreciated your friendship, and I really appreciate the fact you're pro law enforcement, but you also recognize the social needs of America, and so I think your message would be powerful. So I would encourage.
Well,
I would encourage
half as many followers as you guys have, and half as cool as you two are, I might be big time like you. But I think it's fun, and I have a few shows up there, but I have to get back in there. But
well, when you get to be a grandpa, you might have more followers.
Well, I tell you, I'm not even gonna say it because I've turned a new leaf this month.
Oh, you're good.
You guys are fine, young gentlemen. We'll say that.
There you go. Thank you.
What a guy.
You coined
You guys are very, very young compared to 100-year-olds.
You coined the phrase, my friend. You coined the phrase. So you're gonna hang that around you for a while. All right. Well,
you guys be safe. I had to get my beauty sleep because you don't. Without it, you don't look this good normally. So.
Have you gotten your vaccination yet, there, Sheriff?
I have got it, and I'm fully vaccinated. I have my second shot, so I'm the bionic COVID man.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Good role model. I'm getting my second one tomorrow. Thanks for your
All
service.
right. Well, if you need me to, drive you around and take you to bed, Grandpa, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I'll say hi to Justin, and we'll be in touch. And you still owe me dinner at Baltimore. So.
Absolutely.
Right.
Anytime, and be safe, and God bless y'all, and I love you both. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
See you, Sheriff.
Bye. Nice man.
Indeed.
Very nice man. It's nice to get a call from Sheriff Hutchinson.
Hennepin County's lucky to have him. I'm going to put this on 1.
Okay. We are going to drive down LaFond here. Talk to a young lady that lives on LaFond. I'm not going to mention where.
About 118 and 116.
Here we go, 118, 116.
663 University Avenue West at Western Bank on a DOC for a male sleeping in the lobby.
Well, we get a lot of calls like that during this cold vortex moving down, and homeless people sleeping in lobbies.
Cancel 16.
It's going to be brutal all weekend.
So we're going to talk about the locations. The county and the city have made some serious progress on locations for people to stay. So there are a number of alternatives. Of course, Bethesda is a little higher barrier. That means people don't go directly to the old Bethesda. But there are low barrier shelters, safe space. I think they're opening up now. They may open up Harriet Island and Duluth and Case and the fire station down on West 7th Street. And then, of course, Higher Ground and the Opportunity Center run by Catholic Charities. They've given them waivers on the number of people that they can have.
2321.
There are still some encampments out there. We are on LaFond here at Syndicate, westbound.
150 pounds. Again, Murtis, Neva, Stanley, black female, January 30th.
Information for squad for 72-hour pickup and hold issued for third-degree assault occurred at 1743 Iowa in East. Subject's name is Murtis Neva Stampley, black female, date of birth January 30th, 1989. Likely driving a 2003 Honda Accord. Plate is 347 Whiskey Kilo Alpha. Information at 2342.
St. Columba Catholic Parish. They're here on the northeast corner of LaFond and Hamlin. Spent a lot over years over here at Hamlin University and living in the neighborhood afterward while I coached football after I graduated.
326 on scene, 2342.
It's funny how your brain, we worked over here for many years. So
Oh yeah.
your brain knows that. I mean, it's like a musical note. Your brain knows that LaFond is the 5th Street north of University. Thomas is the 4th, Minnehaha is the 8th. LaFond, Blair and Van Buren or 567. It's funny when you're a young officer, you can never forget any of that stuff. It's permanently in your brain.
True and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Squad 318. 318, go ahead. Can you also go to Cook? It sounds like the brother might be getting involved. I sure will.
118, I can take your stuff.
118. 118 copy with 128 to assist 925 Grand Avenue at the Speedway for female in a small 4-door sedan at Pump 3, caller believes the female stole items the second time this week.
18 copies.
We've only been out a little more than 2
23,
hours.
24.
It feels like longer.
Well, I wonder why that is. It's kind of quiet. He must be out in the back.
318 now and then.
My seat's hot.
Squad 185.
185.
It's going to be a false alarm per the alarm company. You can cancel.
Copy. Thank you. We're talking to the homeowner.
Copy 2345.
692. 692.
You can remove from this call, and all PEOs will be EOT. Have a good night.
118 on the block.
2345.
Squads for midnight EOT, squad 370.
370.
Squad 375. 375. And squad 386.
174.
Any other squads for midnight EOT?
174.
I'll be out with
Squads have a good night.
Charlie Tango Hotel 473 at Oxford and Egelhart.
Copy on traffic, Oxford and Egelhart at 2346.
No. Pending.
One 177 EOT.
So we're northbound on Snelling on the right here. You got
Have a good night, 2347.
Hamlin University. Great school.
Any other squads for midnight EOT? Squad 177.
Arrested a few people in the old days there, huh?
Any other
Back
squad?
at Midway Motel.
Oh yeah.
161, the nominee half.
Don't hear many calls there nowadays anymore.
Have a good night at 1147.
Granville Matthew Taylor used to hang out there with Debbie Lipke. Remember that pair?
Oh yeah.
136, we've seen Mr. Bird.
I seen Granville once.
126, copy at Iris Park Commons, 1850 University. Security cameras are showing a man inside the building in the basement, subject to the black male, light-skinned, balding, wearing a black or gray jacket or top, was seen 10 minutes ago on camera. Unknown how he got inside. He was last seen between the garage and on the Lyndhurst side.
Sounds like he's out of the building now.
Sounds like he might be in the garage now.
At 2347.
We'll run over there, back up St. Paul on the burglary call.
178-185, copy and route to the DOC, 2054 Brewster Street at 2348.
Actually, that's where we were headed to, but Brewster call, but we'll run down on the burglary call instead.
I think that's an apartment building. Not sure.
Hang with us tonight. Pat said something while we were on mute. Can't say it on air.
Squad 126, be advised, this information is secondhand. It's coming from another employee. One 2-6, did you copy that last?
Copy.
2349.
Pierce Butler route here is a little, kind of a shortcut to get from the Dale and Minnehaha area all the way out to the industrial zone.
2349.
516, your case number is 024880. 024880.
Yeah, and if it was out at Cleveland or something, it'd be a really good shortcut. We're gonna cut down Fairview because Fairview is 820, and be right after we pass Newell Park here at Fairview. Glad to say that Werner Carnival Medallion was here one year.
Newell Park.
Newell Park. My good friend Kiki Sonnen, former city council member, lives right here on the south side of Newell Park. Kiki, if you're listening, think the world of you. She's retired now, but...
Squad 174, status check.
Code 4.
Code 4, Officer Michael Hardet,
125 on a DOC. First caller said there's a naked male in the hallway banging on the door for the past 25 minutes and yelling. The black male, second caller, said he's shirtless in his 40s. Mm-hmm. 2350.
So keep in mind, Fairview is 820. Even numbers are on the south and east side of the road, so we're going, 1820, so we're going to 1850, which means it's a half a block west of us on the south side of the street. So this is a nice complex, both of these. I'm assuming it's that bigger complex there, huh, Pat? Over here?
It is the assisted living right here. And I just got a message from somebody on Facebook who works here.
Yep.
126.
They've been people have been trying to get in there a lot lately. You have to go around to the back
Meet us at 504 Mainhurst
to get into the front parking lot.
garage.
Oh, that's it, I think.
Copy.
So, for the Days of Light Rail, we could have just turned and got over there, but
114 traffic.
got to do a little go around. Go ahead, what were you saying?
You have to
114,
go around to the
go
back
ahead.
to get in, apparently.
Highland Parkway, Mount Curve.
What do you think the back is?
With Minnesota Plate.
Thinking on Lyndhurst.
669.
Highland Parkway, Mount Curve at 2352.
So turn here, you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll be around till 114. So let's go for.
Copy 2352.
There's a spot over there.
120 cancel 128. Not too far off.
120 copy, 1286.
So the area squad is probably more familiar with how to actually get there.
2352.
But we'll probably just, he's at the front door there. I think we should probably just check some of the other perimeter locations in case the suspect bails
Zipping out.
Yeah. So
I don't think this is connected.
I don't think so either.
I think that is the first part of it right there.
114.
Code for Highland Park, we now curve at 2353.
490. We'll just go around to the other side and come. There is a parking lot that comes off of University Avenue, so because we can get access to the whole building. Through this parking lot here. Been in here a couple times to visit people. Very beautiful place. So you just watch this side in case somebody comes out. What do you think?
Sure.
Advise with 113, 128.
This is all part of the commons here.
Yeah.
Beautiful complex. They did a nice job here.
Secure the CM, please.
Well, we'll kind of let the squad dictate where we go, huh?
Sure.
326 CN is 024-880. 024-880.
Can't hurt to watch this side, do you think?
Copy, thank you. You're welcome. 2350.
So, you know, somebody saw on camera a party inside the basement here, and then near the garage on the Lyndhurst side, which was that road where the squad was. Doesn't mean he's still there. Park ourselves here for a minute.
Well, that building with the van is the specific one he was seen in.
Squad 126.
126.
Spoke with the cop. She's requesting, if possible, you meet her first at the front of 1850 University, and she says she'll lead you to the garage from that point.
But it's the garage right over there by the dumpster, huh?
Copy.
So he's gonna come to, the squad's gonna come to our side, meet the comp at the office there, and take him to the garage. We're gonna kind of keep an eye. You see where that dumpster is down there? That looks like maybe an unattended garage area. Keep your eyeballs peeled. Probably come to this side and the guy will bail out on the other side.
Of course.
Could have been that woman that we saw walking, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like a homeless person looking for warmth. Did I ever show you that other picture I had of you?
Oh, the one with Tommy and I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I show that to you?
I think that was from Cinco de Mayo.
Did I email it to you?
Yes, you emailed it to me, but I saved it in my phone.
Just to you, or did I email it, or did I text it to you?
I think you emailed it.
Okay. Oh, there he's going over there. I get a lot of people telling me how handsome you are. Hey, Mike, hold on. You mind going on the Ling Bloomston side? Just make sure they don't bail out over there. Or the Lyndhurst, I mean. Yeah, Lyndhurst.
Alan?
Yeah, send that back to me.
I like that picture.
Yeah. Was it an email or what?
It was in email, but I saved it to...
Yeah, send that back to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was Cinco de Mayo in like 95 to 97, sometime in there. I was clearly working out more then.
What makes you say that?
Because I looked like that. Hey!
You look great now. What the heck? So I just sent Inspector Whistle over to the other side, so we got this building surrounded in case the person bails out. But we get a ton of calls like this from people that are looking for warmth. We do have shelters available, so if the squad finds a person that's looking for warmth, they can, you know, they can find a place to stay warm. Take them to a shelter.
Squad 182, copy and route to the noise complaint at Wilder Square, 750 Milton Street North, Unit 309 at 2359.
Did I see on your phone over there someone saying the phone is cutting in and out? I don't know. Let us know how the audio is. Let Pat know how the audio and video is.
128 PPP.
We look like we're doing pretty good.
128, go ahead.
Let me know if there's been any kind of buffering going on.
787 Hampton Avenue, code 4.
Well, since the lady's walking the squad down there, we're just gonna snug up here. He's inside right there talking to the lady. Got to be one of the few garages around here, huh? Well, people are asking about smoke. No, that's not Pat smoking cigarettes. That's steam coming from the building.
118 traffic.
I got a message there has been no buffering
118,
whatsoever.
go ahead.
So
Squad 385.
we're looking good tonight.
Lexington and Randolph with a red Chevy Blazer.
Hey, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do.
Hello.
6 people got out of the vehicle.
18, let's
Hello.
make it edge coming, Randolph.
Copy, edge coming, Randolph.
The address.
Hello.
He got out of a gray van, a red
Put in our head. Oh, here they are.
and another sedan, unknown color. They're going to try to get security footage.
I think that one's yours, right? There.
Copy. Is the comp security at the Senior Hills Living, or who's our comp? I'll find out if he's an employee or a resident. He did say that he scared them away because the comp had a weapon, and the comp was advised to put his weapon away. Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, we're over on University Avenue in a senior housing complex. There was a person on camera seen in one of the garages here, first the basement, and then later in a garage area. So the St. Paul squad is going down with the management personnel to determine if someone's hiding inside the basement area. We're outside, just in anticipation of someone coming out. And do we think this is the proximity where the person was?
Code 4, Edge come in, Randall, 3 minutes.
Without knowing for sure.
At 003.
Squad 125.
If the building's tunnels are connected, of course.
125.
Whenever you're able, can you give console 31 a call?
Copy.
Thank you, 3 minutes.
You're welcome.
385. The firearm was never used to threaten anyone, was correct? Do you know where they observed it in his hand walking around or in waistband or what?
It's as big as I can get it.
This one here? Or?
Yeah.
Copy the update. We'll go back.
311, copy, yes, sir.
So we're assuming that St. Paul officer is doing okay, roaming through the building down there. And then if you are a new viewer, we are in Ramsey County, Minnesota. It's the capital city of Minnesota, and the capital city is St. Paul. We're the capital county, and half of the county is the city of St. Paul, and then there are several suburbs. We're with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, and we're patrolling throughout Ramsey County. It's
118.
0 degrees here, 0 degrees.
Copy, 4 minutes.
182.
Well, since I mentioned the number of texts on this phone,
Can you have the comm open?
there have been 200 more that have added.
We're sorry it's tough to get back. You know, there's emails attached to
182,
Facebook
it looks like
pages.
we're unable to call back the company
There's
anonymous to
messages.
use their phone number.
326.
Either my partner
We'd really
or
like-
somebody else can come by and grab
Well,
the
5
camera
minutes.
bring up to the bedroom. I can't leave.
Where's that at?
Need someone to bring me a camera.
Camera on channel 3.
I'll bring it up in a second, Adam. Report reports to traffic. Aaron, does he have a pocket knife on him? I'm sorry.
I mean, it is so cold out there. A lot of people are inside, but unfortunately, it doesn't stop auto thieves. It's actually prime weather for them and for carjackers. So just, like I said, we get a lot of new viewers. We appreciate it. Yeah, Pat and I started in the late 70s here in St. Paul with the St. Paul Police Department. I spent 20 at St. Paul and then went to the Sheriff's Office, and Pat spent 30 plus at the St. Paul Police Department before coming to the Sheriff's Office. So we were here back in the olden days. It didn't seem like the olden days to us, but everybody refers to them as the olden days before computers and SWAT cars. Just in case you're wondering,
385.
computers really,
I see that out there.
the desktop computers were invented in like the early 80s. First one I got was an 82. The old Texas Instruments computer with an 8 megahertz floppy drive. So we started back in 77 before. The only computers were whole rooms with punch cards. But we've tried to keep pace with technology.
220.
Pat and I have sort of kept.
Jackson, Timberlake. 129.
What is going on here?
129.
Will you update my call to Cretan in Riverwood?
Copy, Cretan in Riverwood, 7 minutes.
2164, I'm code 4, vehicles unoccupied.
2164, copy. Vehicles unoccupied. Go for 7 minutes.
Squad's clear, GOA, and with the noise complaint, you can clear that out, assisted.
Copy, thank you. 8 minutes.
(182) copy. You took the DOC 1597 Charles Avenue for mail in the alley at 8 minutes.
$2,400. Can you just check on 126's status inside? We're outside the building. We just want to make sure he's okay.
136, we're code 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Copy. Code 4, 8 minutes.
Very good, very good, very good. Code 4 means everything's stable. Might have found somebody, might have nodded, but anyhow, they don't need us. So you're not going to see this too often. For those of you from out of town, big snowbanks, 0 degrees, and the gentleman on a bike.
Minnesota strong.
Minnesota strong. It's the cheapest way to get around there is.
Absolutely.
And good exercise, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was in the best shape of my life when I worked at bicycle patrol.
We don't have time to follow the comments, but we do ask that everybody be respectful of other people and try to be kind to each other. And name calling is one thing we shouldn't tolerate. You can argue about an issue without referring to someone with a name. Now, if you use a name to refer to someone, it just means you've run out of arguments. So,
you have lost the argument when you resort to
name
calling and insult.
So it's a little quieter than you thought too, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. We're westbound on Marshall from Fairview, coming up with the lights up there ahead, our Snelling Avenue. Those of you that used to live here have some familiarity with it. That Eaglehart address was just
120 PPV.
a few blocks away from where we were there at Fairview and Marshall. Where
Marshall and Otis.
Copy of Marshall and Otis. 12 minutes. Both squads, West and Central Districts, are currently patched up. Council 2 for a short break. 12 minutes.
I guess we haven't been on the south side of the freeway here yet tonight. So.
No, we haven't. I feel like there was something in the 1500 block of Portland this week, too.
Jeez, I'm glad. When you were saying that, you said, I feel like there's something. I thought you were going to say, I feel like there's something in the air. And I was really glad you said there's something in the 1500 block of Portland instead of that.
I will never use that phrase again with you. Oh yeah, that was the attempted robbery where they probably ended up going and doing the carjacking up on Eaglehart.
Yeah.
1500 block of Portland.
Well, I know for a fact that some of these juveniles that we know personally, whose names will remain not said today, monitor us periodically, and they know when we're out here.
Oh yeah, that's become very clear.
And so I don't know if I told you that, but one of them was bragging on his Facebook that he ran from us. So, earlier last month. Radio on?
Yep.
You're on 2?
I'm on, what am I on? I'm on 3. What are you on? I'll go to 2.
Okay.
I'm on 2.
Zero degrees in the beautiful city of St. Paul, Minnesota.
129.
129.
And it really is.
Stop on the cat. Marks for 120 and 120.
It really is a beautiful city.
385.
44.
Copy at 14 minutes.
305. St. Paul dropped off the
there,
hotel.
and it's
Stated that he had a room there. However, he's unable to pay for it
from that address.
It's a black male wearing all black currently.
Yeah, we're going for it. You guys copy.
Well, let's go out to Maplewood, huh?
4480 copy.
Why not?
Look for that stolen Silverado roaming over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's weather assist on that. Four 483. I can start there. I'm at 36 in the white there. Copy, thank you.
There's not many calls in pending either. It's just really dropped off here. What time is it? 12:15? Well, my son said nothing happens till after 12:15, so.
22 traffic.
182.
Prior St. Anthony, Minnesota plate. Fox Rock, Papa Hotel, 269.
Copy traffic. Prior St. Anthony. 016.
Had the brakes checked too. They said that squeaking is
weather related.
It must be.
At 16 minutes.
It's the longest light out. Let's see who's over in this parking lot over here.
2162 to back.
Oxford Pool and Playground.
60 minutes. 2166 inside. 2163.
How are you tonight? Good. Just hanging out or what?
I just pulled over for a cigarette.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
I don't like smoking in my car.
Oh, so you're trying to vent it out a little bit or what?
I don't smoke in my car, so I stand.
2163.
Oh, really?
So I pulled over.
Well, that's really nice. We run into a lot of guys whose wives don't let them smoke in their car either, too. But usually not the.
23.
Yeah.
Smoke in your car.
For medical, 96 County. Country Drive and room number 314. A 432-year-old man.
Yeah. You live around here somewhere?
I actually live downtown. I'm just coming over.
Sometimes just strange places at 12:15 aren't the safest.
I pulled in here. There were 2 other cars that pulled in.
Yeah.
Like right after me, and I was thinking like, maybe this isn't like the best parking lot to. I figured it was a wreck center.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is big enough that you can see people approaching you, right?
Right.
But just, you gotta be careful nowadays. We've had so many carjackings now, you know.
Probably
No,
carpenter here.
my sister.
Any second, a car doing about 70, swerving in and out of the vehicle.
Just like last week.
Yeah.
Somebody pulled up when she was unloading her car and took her vehicle straight
Wow.
off the street.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anyone.
It was a light tan SUV.
Do you want to have another cigarette? We can hang out in the parking lot. We can hang out in the parking lot.
I stick to one. My New Year's resolution was I was going to quit.
Okay. We don't. I never start resolutions till after the Super Bowl. You know, that's the official beginning of it. So that's Sunday. You got another day or 2.
No, it's good. Yeah. So I'm not doing anything like.
No, we were just worried about you mostly.
No, it's cool. And so now I'm headed off and gotta let my dog out.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You bet.
Take
Have a
care.
good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Where that?
It's one of ours, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Well, I like the part of America where people still are confident they can pull into a parking lot after midnight and have a cigarette. Okay, I like that. But what I don't like is that
311 copy and route.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, not these days.
No, it's just too. But if you are going to pull in a parking lot, pull in somewhere where you can see a good distance away. Looks like she left there, right?
Right.
So you can, if someone's approaching your car, you have time to start it up and get the gas going, right?
I'm consciously making an effort to stop being on my phone when I'm parked. Because I have a habit of where I'll pull over to, Facebook or text somebody, and having your nose buried in that phone and not being aware of what's going on around you. I'm trying to break myself of that habit.
Yeah.
You're trying to rise.
It's here 20 minutes.
It's Joan 84 out of the gym.
84 copy. 4 minutes. We're checking your status on traffic.
1656.
Code 4, Pierce Butler, northbound Snelling at 21.
656.
Yeah,
Well,
requesting key back up.
Southbound Victoria from Marshall coming up on Selby.
21 minutes.
Those brakes just squeak because they're cold.
Probably.
They said they were good. Eastbound on Selby. That's the Minico.
Copy your route to 1959.
Go for it here, cancel a second.
2018 Maryland.
Copy 800.
1 within 8 meters. Disconnects the callback.
Just to advise, we have a call pending at 902 County Road D Delta number 316. Anonymous caller advising they can hear people
I put this on scan
stating that
because
they're
my
going to
other
shoot you and a lot of
radio
screaming
has got a bad battery on it. So
These are
I'll make sure we can hear what happens on the suburbs.
I think I got a spare with me. You want me to change it?
Yeah,
They have seen parties carrying weapons previously, but have not seen any today.
Since it's so slow, we should monitor the suburbs.
8190 copies. We'll be around shortly.
Have to irritate everybody with my seatbelt noise for a minute here while I grab the bag.
What are you doing?
22.
John Cadwood, 126.
23 minutes.
Interesting. Louisiana Cafe, great place for breakfast, lunch.
Oh yeah, it is.
Cajun breakfast. Doesn't get any better than that. We're headed eastbound on Selby. Selby and Summit are going to connect up here right at the St. Paul Cathedral. Most of you know that after we get, oh, here's the Gnome. Here's where the carjacking was last week. Friday we worked, right?
Yep.
Was that Friday right here?
Dodge Charger was taken in a carjacking, and East Cars found it up on Westminster.
Yeah, Westminster, just north of Maryland there.
8196.
And
What's up, that side of the ferry? Send that to the DSP.
we haven't talked about our dispatchers for a while. I mean, we've praised them many times in the course of our patrol, but I was thinking about them again today, and it's just such an important job, and how reliant we are on them and how much we appreciate them.
They are really the lifeline for the cops on the street.
Just getting us information. I mean, without them, we're swimming in the dark. So thank you, dispatchers, once again. Telecommunicators, dispatchers.
You do an amazing job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Copy, which squad was that?
18 of the 100. Sorry, I'll be in front of
So up in front of us there, it is downtown. You can see the Eco Lab building in front, and then the First National Bank behind there.
Copy, in front of 300 Fuller on traffic, 26 minutes.
Might run by there. Spot just checked out on Fuller on traffic, but
639, I'll clear my detail on EOT.
639, copy.
125 in route to 118, please code 4.
125, copy, thank you.
Snowplower's got a tough job too, working all hours of the night.
Squad 510
And I didn't know it until recently that staff from a lot of other departments get drafted to do the snow plowing when there's a particularly bad snowfall.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a good friend who works for forestry.
Code 4.
Really?
And he'll get pulled into
Code 4, 300
snowplow.
Fuller at 27 minutes.
Never knew that.
125.
Minnesota History Center there to our right.
Copy, 27
State
minutes.
Capitol straight ahead. Capitol Ridge Hotel there.
Let's take a look at that right there.
This one I just passed us?
Yep.
Okay.
Not exactly sure what that is. Okay. Not any of the
I'll
ones.
just read it for the tape in case we need it later. 223 Uniform Zulu Charlie. 223 Uniform Zulu Charlie. It's nice because we're broadcasting live and record everything, and so if something happens in a car similar to that is seen later, we know where it was. And we can go back and check our own tapes. How's it going? How's everything?
Good, how you doing?
Good. What are you guys up to? Oh, all right. Well, you're on the wrong side of the street, but no big deal.
Yeah, I'm going in this house.
Carry on. Have a good night. Thank you.
G66.
1177 clearance, Hub Foods, Bravo squad out with the male saying he needs detox.
Copy.
At 029.
Did your daughter say anything about the medallion?
Relays 5 minutes have not heard anything since. 2363 to assist. 6 copy.
Did it just turn black?
30 minutes.
It was saying it was going to update the carrier settings.
Oh, for crap. Are we still streaming? No, we didn't mute it. Kind of went the whole, said it was going to update, Pat says. You're good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Thanks. Bye. Alright. Scott down there in traffic.
Squad 126.
Check on him.
So the camera phone tried to do a carrier update that we had to stop.
104.
We should be back going good now.
Copy.
Thank you, 31 minutes.
St. Paul car up here on traffic. He checked out on traffic earlier. Just rolling by, just make sure he's okay and give us the old code 4 sign. Looks like maybe there's not even a car here.
Boy, those takedown lights are bright.
All good?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good.
Those are some bright lights. In the old days, we only had one little old one on there. You know.
I can tell it's a squad or not. I don't have those.
No. All right, have a good night.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
69 clear assist.
So sometimes they stay and finish up their paperwork or whatever they got to add into the CAD after I'm sure the car he stopped, he probably sent on his way.
Right.
And the officer was busy just tying up the administrative end of filling out forms. They're gonna run up to that 642 front call on a loud party. Because I remember being there once before.
Tango over CAD, Marks to 125, 113, 2400.
Copy 33.
That's the thing about those dispatchers. I don't know how they type that fast. Do you?
It's amazing to me.
It's like being a musician in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the piano at the same time you're.
Trish could type 100 words a minute.
Really?
Just phenomenal.
That's amazing. Where'd she learn that?
I have no idea. I think it was just lots of practice typing up all those search warrants she would always do.
7130 and 7106.
I got a picture of her and you too, where she was putting you that medal on. You got a medal sometime in the past, right?
Oh yeah, the Golden Pig Award. Or Flying Pig, whatever it was.
November 501.
That was classic.
Snelling Randolph in the
Yeah, I love that
parking lot at
picture.
34 minutes.
I didn't send it to you because I didn't want to
114, I'll be out
bring it back.
That's one I have. I
114, copy
love
34
that
minutes.
picture. That was before we were
Right.
ever going out.
Well, as long as we're going to a call, let's. Anyhow, I've seen this apartment building at 642 front go downhill a couple times in the past. So.
Oh yeah.
Bravo 825.
Bravo 825, have a good one.
Something happening there?
No,
Well, no. If there's a that.
2165.
You want to go to that one instead?
I don't think so. I think front is the one to go to.
We've been to that address before, you know. That's the people that called on the Asian guy sleeping in the car.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So.
8190, you go to
Well,
We're Snelling Randolph with Wolverine.
you can count on things heating up after 12:30.
Generally.
Thanks to consumption of alcohol. That's the one common denominator. Common denominator. So remember there, backseaters. Dale, which is the intersection here, is 620 west. And we're going to 642, I think, right?
Yes.
So you know it's just a little bit west of Dale Street.
Squad 324.
324.
Northwest 539, X-ray boy uniform.
GOA, send me walk on, all advised.
We got to make it out to Mayport, Roseville, though.
Mm-hmm.
Copy at 037.
I don't know if you got the internet. So, St. Paul squad is on the way here. It's just a loud party call. Sure they'll be here shortly.
2163. 2163. You have the come to the front door. 118, I can take your domestic.
118, copy with 116 to assist at 736 Marshall Avenue. Unit number 3, for a male who lives with comp named William Robinson, assaulted the comp. Comp would like him removed. Subject is a 56-year-old male wearing a navy blue shirt and PJ bottoms.
16 copy.
Thank you for the 8 minutes. Thank
You hear anything, Pat?
No, I do not.
Squad 174, status check on traffic.
Code 4.
Code 4, Union Air, Pascal, 38 minutes.
Echo Golf Sierra 633.
128, you can cancel on 16.
Nobody's in it. Just
Copy,
running
116
it,
is clear.
Today, thanks.
38 minutes.
120.
120.
We 10-8 over the cat with 114.
38 minutes.
125, cancel 128.
125, copy. 28, you can be clear.
Copy, thank you.
360, copy, you're en route. 775 Cook, apartment 1 for the disturbance at 039.
There's really no place to turn around in here, is there?
No, there's
Pat?
not.
Remember that James Bond movie where he was driving the car out backwards out of the parking ramp?
Yeah.
With that little remote?
Sure do.
That was before they had these cameras. James Bond had one.
366.
I've seen every James Bond movie.
Yeah.
There's a new one about to come out.
Yeah, there is. Let's see when I go see that together.
I'd like to do that. That'd be fun.
Hang on.
You just pass it along to state and surrounding agencies.
Well, there's one right there.
And it's going to be in the left lane. It's just coming up to White Bear Ave. It's going over it. Copy. Still holding 10-1 from your right. 40 minutes.
Must be going eastbound. I think. Maybe not. Well, I'm sure you don't hear much noise there. Let's find out what's happening now.
6 opening to get LTAC for a chase.
LTAC.
I'll go there.
That's Mark Suki. You good?
2160 copy.
There we go.
Copy.
He's following it.
One more White Bear.
One of our county cars is chasing a car, 694 in White Bear. Lou Brighton started it. One of our guys picked it up.
It's not on LTAC yet.
I'll let you hold that one too.
What? 131 and 113.
113.
Well, let's go up to Larpenteur and cut over. I just think that Maryland's got too much traffic there.
2162, I have a pretty heavy call.
6-0, I'm just trying to find out if they're not on channel. If you tell me where they are now, I'd be glad to help.
That's on Ramsey Central.
Yeah. He was thinking New Brighton was putting it on LTAC. Maybe they were discontinuing, but just monitor those two. Suki will figure it out if there's something going on.
Lost visual at White Bear Ave, but it was in the left lane. Speeds were probably about 90, and it was just coming up to 61. It's probably going to be at the 35E split by now.
Oh, let's go our way.
Could be. Get a description.
Yeah, they killed that for that.
Yep.
Description.
2160, channels have been dropped. If you can go to the east, I don't have any information with regards to White Bear's incident.
Okay, then. Mark Suki. We got our earbuds in so nobody can hear you, but help us out here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is it? Was it just a fleeing, or what was it? Anything wanted for anything in particular? What's the description?
9174.
We got a plate or not?
9174.
You did.
I'm clear. If
All right.
there's a
I'll let you
10-1,
work it.
cancel it.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Thanks a lot. But, yeah, bye. Toyota Corolla white, fleeing from White Bear Lake. Our squads are looking for it, but White Bear did not keep up with it on the freeway. So at this point, it's. But that area, that whole area, the north of the east side, Maplewood, there's been a lot of stolens. That Silverado ran up there earlier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We've chased a few up in that area ourselves. Oh, it's like the northern extension of auto thieves like to go. So we're gonna spend some time out there. We're on Larpenteur and 35. This is the northern border of the city of St. Paul. Let's go over those plates again, Pat, that we're looking for. 804.
Might be a white Corolla in the gas. You can go up here to Westminster.
Yeah, but it's in the gas station?
Yeah, the one across the street.
Yeah, okay.
Parked right up against the building if it actually is a Corolla.
Okay.
That's a Chevy Impala.
All three are white. Can't hurt to make a trip through this lot anyhow. Be safe.
Acura.
4480.
Echo Zulu X-Ray 520.
4480.
Chevy Mike Bravo Victor
We clear assistance on
162.
traffic, Highway 36, just west of White Bear. No plate, no temp tag. Via Ford Edge, silver in color.
Dodge Durango Foxtrot Lima Romeo 596.
What's that one up to? You know?
Nope. Looks like they're in that other vehicle.
Hi! How are ya? Police!
Get that.
How's it going?
Hey, Bob!
What's happening? Checking on her? She's hot. Is she with you?
No, I just know. You guys fired the dude in there. I just asked him.
What are you going from gas station to gas station or what?
No, I just got here. I know you.
Yeah. Do you know her?
No, I don't. No, that's why I just went in here and told him. I said, hey, bro, I said, how long she been here? He said, an hour. I said, bro, go check on her, please.
Well,
No, I just put him here to
we'll
check
check
on her.
on her. You think she's just sleeping or what?
He said she's been here for an hour. I thought she was dead.
No, she's okay.
But you can go ask him. You can go ask him and everything, bro.
Squad 311.
Looks like she's just sleeping up here, huh?
311.
Is he okay with her
Can you
staying
please
here?
Echo Julia Romeo 881 for the call police in relation.
Just don't bother her or she'll get you in trouble.
Copy at 047.
Go for it, Captain. Where are you at?
Alpha November Charlie 517.
311.
She's just sleeping. She doesn't want to talk to us, but she's not drunk.
One party in the vehicle.
I would recommend this be the best place for people
No, I sure
to
wouldn't
sleep,
either.
but everybody's got different set of circumstances in their life, you know?
Yeah.
So everybody's got a different set of life circumstances.
Indeed.
318 just 311. Need anywhere help up there? We'll call 4 for now. Copy. 318, you can show me clear the last call with the sub report. 318, copy 049.
You lose something, buddy?
I'm sitting on the radio.
What would you call that? It's not really a dial. It was a butt transmission. Oh, is that mine?
Yeah.
This one you got the new battery in?
Yep.
Thank you.
This is in relation to
318, copy, you're en route 165 McKnight Road, reference a suspicious vehicle that keeps driving through the lot. Might be looking into vehicles. A dark colored pickup truck.
165 McKnight Road.
4480 is clear this up. Morning.
We are eastbound on Larpenter. Again, the northern border of the city of St. Paul, technically County Road A. So, County Road B is 1 mile north, and then each mile north is County Road C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. J is our northern border of our county. So, we're going to roam around the suburbs a little bit. Flip over to frequency. The east frequency is for Maplewood, White Bear, and North St. Paul. Amazingly quiet. We should have got a cheese dog back there at the holiday. That's the one thing. Aren't you a little hungry?
A little bit.
Is there anything going on over there that you see in that list of calls, or are we just dead?
Seems pretty much dead everywhere.
Probably should monitor that LTAC.
You know, we ought to.
Goes on.
That's a good idea. We ought to swing through that holiday up here in English.
228 on block
A
052.
lot of stolens roll
Yeah.
through there.
2172 clear assist.
Yeah, someday everyone will have that on. Every phone, every car will have that OnStar automatically. As the cost of delivering a cell phone service like that keeps dropping, and it is, you'll be able to call any car that's stolen and shut it down.
Yep. That'll make things a lot easier, a lot safer.
214 out at 053.
Turn the heat up, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
It's not right over here. Turn the heat up.
I did not.
It's 70. You just, you know. We are on County Road B, westbound on County Road B. So you know we're 1 mile north of the St. Paul border. Your daughter working tonight up there in White Bear, or don't you know?
I just sent her a message asking. I can't keep track of their schedule.
You know why that is? Because you're a workaholic. And I know that every day you're analyzing all this crime. And I want you to know the people of Ramsey County appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
But, you know, the other workaholic we got down there is that Kyle Meestead.
2363, checking status.
Oh, yeah.
That guy is always working.
Go for it.
Very talented
Happy goes for 55 minutes.
person.
Is that a Silverado? No, that's a Dodge, I think. Plate number Manbake.
Manbake. I saw the...
There's got to be a story behind that.
We should stop and talk to him.
There's a Silverado. What's that plate?
What color is it supposed to be, though?
88. I thought it was silver.
I did too, but isn't that funny? Your brain doesn't know for sure.
All right.
55 minutes.
That looks like he either knows this or he's suspicious of us. What do you think?
One or t'other.
It's cold in here, isn't it?
56 minutes.
What the heck was that? Is it a run or something?
I don't know. Should I go see if they have dogs?
Yeah, why don't you? I'm going to keep an eye on this guy over here in the red truck while you're doing that.
If they don't, do you want a ham and cheese?
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course not. 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
I'm going to go...
What do you got here before you get in there?
Go for the dog. We're good.
I'm going to run this plate while you're in there. Charlie Uniform Victor 319. Charlie Uniform Victor 319.
And I'm on Ramsey East on the tax set.
Okay.
I think we'll put this away.
Ramsey East, and you got your earplug in. You might be able to hear the phone too. A lot of traffic here. So I'm below now.
Yeah.
Charlie Uniform Victor 319.
Go ahead.
Clear all squads report vacancy to St. Anthony for the assistance.
Okay, 196, I count 58 minutes.
Car didn't sound too good, did it? Looks like she's having a hard time turning that wheel.
024-947.
Like that power steering isn't cooperating with her, is it? That's what happens in the winter too. A lot of times. Ooh, she's not gonna make it yet. Ooh, Jesus, she made it. Thought that red truck was gonna take a whack. So when we leave here, we're going to roam out a little bit in the suburbs. It's been amazingly quiet, and I guess that's a good thing. We're going to work pretty late tonight, though. So, a little later than we normally do. Just because a lot of stolen's been roaming around after 2 o'clock out there. Trying to read a few comments while we're sitting here just to see if there's any answers to questions we can throw out there.
2169 person wearing a black hoodie, black pants, white shirt. Once again, key change at 225 rate, Ridge Street. Vehicle address. Black. Chevy Equinox. 25 minutes on the line up.
Copy.
101.
So we could probably got another half hour on this stream, and then we'll fire up another one. Just, I guess a lot of people ask about my background. I went to Hamlin University to, in theory, major in science and become a doctor. After 2 years of chemistry and biology and calculus, etc., I decided I wanted to have a job working with people instead of
220 traffic.
Working with chemicals. Just sitting up in an analytical chem lab at Hamlin University.
Virginia and Blair, Alpha Bravo Foxtrot 467.
Waiting for chemicals to react. Just wasn't my personality. So I went to my advisor, Dr. John Harrigan, and he said, well, maybe you should be a lawyer, do a little pre-law program with a political science and government, work with people, social and constitutional law, etc., which I did. And when I graduated, I wasn't really ready to go to law school, so I happened to be out at the Burger King on University and Fry, and the young lady that I was with said, oh, there's a sign on the wall, Bob, police officers wanted. She drove me down to take the test with 1,818 people. I was the 1,819th. And lo and behold, a few months later, they offered me a job at the city of St. Paul. So it all worked out great. I never really felt like I was working. the possible exception of the 9 months I was in the St. Paul Police Communications Center, because the chief fired all the dispatchers and he made all the sergeants work as dispatchers. Toughest job I ever had, working as a dispatcher.
Oh, unreal.
So I appreciate what they do, just because I do. Did you
I hope you like truck wagons.
well,
They did not. That's all they had in the way of sandwiches for hot sandwiches.
Yeah, that's good.
Happens to be my favorite sandwich.
So some people were asking about how I got in police work, and that's how I got in, and I fell in love with the job, worked myself through the ranks at St. Paul, and eventually ran for sheriff. But now, while I'm eating quietly off microphone, you can tell them how you got into.
Well, I'm one of those people who, from a very young age, in the second grade, we had to write what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I wanted to be a cop. Now, there were some little diversions in between. You know, I, of course, wanted to be an astronaut at one time, wanted to be a flyer at one time. And one of the coolest jobs...
Hold on a minute. How's it going? How's it going? I just got to ask, since you've been here for 20 minutes and you haven't been inside, or
Oh, I'm just texting somebody.
what's your intentions?
I'm gonna go and get tickets, but I'm thinking of texting somebody quick.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay.
Yeah. What was that movie where they also used to say, "What's your intentions?" Maybe that was with my daughter. What's your intentions with my daughter? All right. Anyhow, go ahead.
So, one of the coolest jobs when I was a kid was I wanted to be the guy who rode on the old school garbage trucks. The guy who rode on the outside, holding on to the side of the truck and would hop out and empty the trash cans. I thought that was cool. But no, I wanted to be a cop from a very young age, and I think I'm one of the few people who can say they fulfilled their childhood dreams.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was an incredible career. And to an extent, I guess it's not over yet.
No, definitely. I really wanted to be an astronaut, like you.
You were too tall.
I know. 6 foot was the limit. I would say for young people, we really enjoyed our careers, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's
With great friendships, interesting work, a sense of feeling that you accomplished something, that you did some good,
right.
Whether it's arresting people, helping people. I've told the story a few times probably here that one of my most satisfying moments was having a deaf person who mouthed the words "thank you" to me. There's just moments in this job that you remember that you feel like you made a difference.
Absolutely.
Now, having said that, it's a different environment today than when we worked. Not all of it, but just some of it is different. And we know from the backseaters that are with us that people appreciate us, but people are more likely to challenge police officers now than they used to.
Oh, absolutely.
And sometimes cops need to be challenged. That's not the issue. The other issue is just they're more likely to resist arrest.
Right.
I guess that's what we're saying.
It's how the officers are being challenged these days that is so different.
We always hope the pendulum will swing back, but you never know.
No, sure don't.
But that's part of the goal of this is so, and don't belittle if there's people out there criticizing the cops right now. Don't belittle them, because the goal of this program, this is educational programming, is to get people to see us in a real light, not just a media light. You know, by the way, the media is judged by how many viewers they have, so they have to spice up the news once in a while too. And there's 2 times during the year, you guys can research this, and Pat can look at the comments. There's sweeps weeks. I think there's sweeps months. I think February and November are months that they're rated on.
I believe so.
But there's also specific weeks that there's really like a competition in the media to see who can get the most viewers, where they determine who is the most popular TV channel. So there's certain times during the year that you're going to see they hold their stories until November or February to kind of do well in the competition.
And we just kind of just do what we do, shift after shift.
And you can start with the alarm on push. I'm not too far.
I've actually gotten quite a few texts in the texts that I read where I've started, you know, there's actually some conversations back and forth that I have with people. And there are people who started watching, not really being very fond of cops in general, and really have a different perspective now. A more positive image.
5188 clear.
You see those windows right up there?
Yep.
That's where my wife got the piece of dry toast.
That's the spot.
That is the spot. Dry toast. Chili's, triple dipper, chipotle, chicken fingers.
Now, what's a triple dipper?
You get 3 different types of appetizers. Chipotle, chicken fingers, Southwestern egg rolls, and I know there's a couple others you can choose from, but honestly, I only get the chipotle chicken fingers.
Do you triple up on those?
Triple up on the 9 chipotle chicken tenders dipped in that ranch avocado sauce that they serve. That is pleasurable. So we're at Wiper Avenue and Beam. Going northbound on White Bear. This is Maplewood Mall on our left here.
We've got about 20 minutes till we're going to have to reboot.
Yeah.
I'm all 4, 2099 division. Copy.
Well, we hope you'll come back when we do
Adam
reboot.
Charles Union 544. Let me know what's clear. Stand by.
Division Street.
Yeah.
2500, clear at least C. Go at 14. 30 and 30. I'm en route to the 26 location. Division 36.
There's a squad on traffic over there in Division, which is also called Century, which is also called Geneva, which is also called 120.
Comments added. Advise with 125.
Oh, excuse me.
26, that vehicle comes back clear to a gray Pontiac, Montana, 2004.
But, you know, if you don't have a lot to do tomorrow in preparation for your Super Bowl Sunday, come back with us, because we're going to hang out here for a while tonight.
So in a little under 20 minutes here, what'll happen is we will log off, and it'll usually takes about 5 minutes for both the streams, Facebook and YouTube to download, and then we can reboot.
174, I have here, code 4, 113. Ask the TC what you should do with somebody who was talking about committing suicide. TC also heard a male in the background telling the cop not to call the police.
Ready?
56, that's your guard recovery.
I suppose technically somebody could be working this late, huh?
Could be.
Saw a guy walking around in there.
Yeah, 311, you're clear.
A little bit odd, though.
311,
Alpha Hotel Bravo 619.
I was checking. Excuse me.
What's up, man? Checking on us. Appreciate it, guys.
How you doing?
Good, man. Getting a remote start put in my truck right now.
24-hour service or what?
Huh?
24 hours.
No, the guy that does all my stuff, he's an aviation tech. So he works up at St. Cloud Airport and comes down here and does it for $400 cheaper than I can get it anywhere else. So
You don't need a remote start in Minnesota, do you?
Oh man, that's this last couple days this morning. I wake up at 6 a.m. I'm in fucking boxers, put on some shorts. I run downstairs really quick. I'm like, yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys stopping by, man.
Well, it's unusual to see a couple guys walking around.
Oh yeah, well, and then our truck, got stolen out of here too, and then them guys tried to give it back to us after I put the reward out, and I found out that
I remember that. Yeah,
they're the ones that stole it.
Yeah.
Huh. And then he keeps calling asking for a job, and I'm like, is there just something wrong with you guys? Like,
the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
All right, we'll go back
Cool.
if it's cold.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. Got a little bit of that last part of that chuck wagon.
Kind of gotcha.
Got me. I went to T-Mobile today to check out some new technology. You don't have a T-Mobile phone.
Right.
3926.
Apparently they're making, it's not a hotspot, but you know how you use
26 running checks.
for faster service, sometimes you like an Ethernet connection to your router.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently have a 5G Wi-Fi/router with an Ethernet connection. Oh, T-Mobile also has television now. T-Mobile TV, did you know that?
No, I did not.
You can put it right in your house, just a box for television. I mean, everybody's doing everything nowadays in technology. So by the way, you are hearing every call that's put out, and in the 6 frequencies right now, and it is slow. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, it is.
We're driving around Maplewood Mall up here, and there really isn't much to show you here, but those of you that are not from Minnesota, we got Maplewood Mall and Rosedale Mall are 2 of our primary malls here in Ramsey County.
Squad 127.
Of course,
Spoke with the cop. She said the party's turned off the music. You can be clear.
then there are several other malls in the metro area.
You're welcome, 118.
Well, let's run back up here. We're going to sit in the...
Information for squad to check their mobiles for truck 4 out of Ramsey County at 119.
Road, no plates.
What was that one?
Officer safety being sent to the laptops.
Copy traffic failed. Or you?
311 on scene.
So we're going to go to the Myth parking lot. The Myth has been home to several large venue concerts, rappers, etc. Probably will, once again, once COVID is over. Although it doesn't look like they really want me to drive that way. Test out these tires.
Seem to be grabbing pretty good.
So you younger people probably been at a few concerts here. There's a lot of snow out here.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of snow. All right, we are going to log off at the location of the Myth. Probably shouldn't have stopped. And
you've got a Durango. You'll get moving
then
again.
we'll be back in a few minutes.
70 miles.
We'll end up running into something here in about a half hour. A bunch of the St. Paul cars go home at 2, and there's always a greater need for us out when there's less officers on the street.
Definitely.
If you don't come back, that's fine too. We appreciate you being with us. And you know, what is it, about our 95th? We're going to be pretty close to our 100th broadcast here in the next couple weeks, minus the one that got deleted because there was a ghost that crossed our path. Right?
That is still pretty bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah.
All right, folks.